here we are back again, live in action, post-draft, after our crazy draft, from the deep. You know what? We got the full barn, cattle, and all in this one again. We got everyone back in action to talk about our draft that we had, talk about the draft that just went down, talk about what we're going to think about for this upcoming season a little bit, some early predictions. We're going to get a little crazy, talk about maybe who's the MVP. Who knows? Aaron Rodgers? That's my MVP, baby. We're going to get after it, and we're going to talk about the last, AFC Championship, NFC Championship, anybody that's popping off. We're going to get crazy early. We're going to act like it's week 8. You know what I'm saying? We're going to get after it. But first, let me introduce the boys. We are sitting here. This is Jack Warner right here. We got my man TJ standing nice and tall and stern for everybody. He's like an oak tree, like a redwood.
What's up, fellas? I'm happy to be back.
Yeah, my man, the clip master. Man, I swear to God, dude, I had so many clips because of you. Then we got, Michael Clark, Sir Mike Clark out here. How you feeling, buddy?
Oh, it's a beautiful day, baby. It's time for some football talk.
Hell yeah. And then we got next after that, we got my man Eric Wheeler out here live in the flesh, the expert. How we feeling, buddy?
Good, man. I think our draft was personally a little more fun than the actual draft, but we'll get there. But happy to be back, boys. Happy to be back, boys.
They did not have a Keegan Lowe out there calling the shots. And speaking of the coach, the expert himself, our fucking guy, the legend himself, Mr. Reskin, Keegan Lowe. How we feeling, big dog?
Oh, feeling great, gentlemen. Be honest, got to share this blessing just because freaking it's out and about now. I'm an uncle, dude. My brother is having a kid coming. It's coming around December 14th. Keegan's an uncle. Call me Uncle Lowe.
Let's go. I didn't even know Emmy had a dick.
Yeah,
Let's
what the
get
hell?
after it.
We're in a dynasty together, man. What the hell?
Yeah, man. Like, we out here fucking grinding together. He out here making babies and losing games against me. Come on now. Come on now. Oh, man. Congratulations, big dog. Adding to the family. Don't have one too soon yourself. Let your kid, let yourself be the uncle.
Get the house done a little bit.
Yeah. Take the pressure off.
Enjoy the uncle time a little bit. Gotta help that nephew. Teach him right.
What up, nephew? Oh, man, come on now. But, hey, as we get in the draft, I'm going to rip the Band-Aid off. We're going to talk about what just went down. We're going to go over the first couple picks, kind of go one by one. A little different than the last draft. We're not going to go through every goddamn pick and just pick it apart. No, we're going to go after the ones that we like to talk about, go after some of the guys that we think maybe fell a little bit, guys that rose up to the occasion, and everything of that nature. But I'm going to rip off the Band-Aid first. As we have on the screen, for those of you watching and not just listening, we have our draft up. We went Travis Hunter right away. Keegan said, fuck it, we're getting an athlete. But Keegan didn't look that crazy because in the real draft, motherfuckers were trading up to get to that motherfucker. So, I mean, Keegan was kind of on point. Then we had Cam Ward going to Cleveland, which, man, we'll get to Cleveland. That would have been way better. And that would have saved a lot of things. Then we had Abdul Carter going to New York. Then we had, I can never say his last name. Say it for me, TJ.
Membu.
Memboy.
My boy.
My boy, there we go. There's his nickname.
God damn, that boy. My boy, my dude. We had him at 4. Hey, lineman going to Patriots. We called that. Then we had Mason Graham. That's the top 5. He was going to Jaguars and that. We were kind of spot on with some of this, just position-wise. We weren't that far off, just flip-flop them around a little bit. But first, let's get over to the real draft. And then, as of course, boys, throw your hand up if you need anything. We got a lot of characters out here. I can only do so much, you know what I'm saying? I can only play God for so long. We're sitting here with the number 1 pick, Tennessee Titans, man. They did what they had to do with Cam Ward. I kind of wanted to pick your guys' brains real quick, get this one kind of over with, but also give him a shine. I thought it was kind of ridiculous that we missed him crying with the phone call. That was dope. Certified number 1. Dude did not have a chance in hell to be in the NFL the way he is this year. Just a year ago, made his own way, made his own path, did it. First, maybe some of your guys' thoughts on the pick, but more importantly, I'm thinking, Tennessee, it's like the recipe of a first pick, right? We're like, it's a quarterback going somewhere. He might change the franchise. Cam Ward, brother, you ain't JC. You need to be a whole lot of things to fix the Tennessee Titans. To me, they're ass cheeks. But do you guys actually think Cam Ward going to Tennessee will actually do, of course, some positive impact, but do you think it will change that much?
I'll get us started because I have a pretty similar opinion to you, Jack. and this is the reason why I picked Travis Hunter in the beginning, in our mock draft, is I don't believe in that. Like, I'll be honest, like, I love that the kid went first. Congratulations to him. That's awesome, life changing, all that stuff. But I just don't see him being a franchise guy. I'll be honest. I think they're gonna freaking be done with him in 3 or 4 years. They're gonna freaking have some shitty years. They're gonna fucking probably blame him, trade him out or something. And I feel bad for the kid. I don't think he's gonna be in a good setup with Tennessee. And that's just how it goes sometimes with that number 1 pick and you're a QB, man. So congratulations to him. I hope it works out for him. But God, that's a rough one in Tennessee. There's a lot of things they need to build over there.
Yeah. Swear. What do you guys think about some Cam Ward?
I mean, he was my quarterback 1. I mean, going to the draft, so I feel I don't want to switch up on him now. I mean, it'd be talk with Shedeur would be similar once we get there too. If the Browns had number 1 pick, that's who I wanted. If you had been there at 2, that's who I think they would have picked. Honestly, I feel like they probably stories we'll never get till 10 years down the road. You know how that works, but I feel like they definitely tried to move up for it. You know, I know the Giants did. The Giants apparently offered this year's 1 and 2 and next year's 1 and 2 to do it, and still couldn't get high enough on draft night to get it done. So, I mean, it's not talked about a lot because we all knew it was coming for the last 4 months, right? Like,
right.
It just on a dime, it just changed, and he was number 1 pick, and that's what happened. So that's all I have.
Oh yeah, man. What do you boys think over there? Do you guys got anything for the number 1 pick? I want to make sure everyone number 1 pick's the number 1 pick. You know, you might have an opinion.
It's a little extra love.
Yeah, I think with Cam Ward, it's a similar recipe to kind of what Caleb Williams could be or was last year, excuse me, in that like you kind of saw glimpses of like, you know, a really talented player, but there was just so much like turmoil, you know, within like the team and the roster. Like Tennessee has some assorted pieces, you know, so he might show signs, but similar to what Keegan said, I think that, you know, we could look in 3 or 4 years and the Titans might not go anywhere with him, but it might not also really be his fault.
Right.
I think that's
Jack was done for. I thought Jack was done for. I was like, damn, the middle of the pond.
All right, Clark, start hosting.
Oh my gosh. No, I think, I mean, that's a great point, right? Who knows if he's gonna be able to change. It's a tall ask from any quarterback goes first overall to really turn around a team that's been shitty, right? I think the Titans fucked up even firing Vrabel to begin with. I thought they really kind of blew shit up in certain ways for no reason, and we're gonna try to start over. But we'll see. I mean, who knows? I've come around on him a lot. I think everyone likes his story. It was a 0-star recruit and ended up being the number 1 overall pick. I mean, that's kind of shit you dream about, right? So I'm pulling for the guy to make a difference. Who knows? I don't think you could even judge him on the first year or 2 because he's not really going to have a great team around him unless somehow they have a bunch of guys pop up that step up and make big plays. It's just going to be tough. It's a lot to ask from a guy to turn a whole franchise around, really nothing around you to do it. I mean, he's got some decent weapons at running back and receiver, but it's nothing. I don't see him going in there and winning 10 games anytime soon. It's not like Jaden Daniels, but who knows? Unless he goes fucking nuclear, he might. So I don't know. We'll see.
The division is. I was hoping someone says that. I was like, this is kind of a nice division to get drafted in.
Yeah.
You know, you kind of have some opportunity here. It's not I could imagine being a rookie quarterback going like an AFC North and shit like that. Like, fuck
it'd be
that.
terrible.
Yeah, fuck that. So it's like to be with the Titans, who knows? We'll see. I mean, shout out to Cam Ward. I wish he would have got more love. You know, he was out there crying and shit, feeling good about himself. He deserved it. You know, he talked all that shit with Shedeur. The closest guy attached to Shedeur. I wonder I'd like to know. Curious. I mean, of course, we'll never know this type of stuff. I don't want to. But I'm curious to see, like, what kind of message. Like, Cam Ward texted Shedeur during this whole thing. Like, like, hey, brother, like, keep your head up. You know what I'm saying? Like, one of those things. Or just big brother his ass. I hope he did that. Like, yo, bro.
Bitch.
Like, yeah, this is
motherfucker.
This is what I was trying to tell you, bro. You trying to make music. I'm trying to score touchdowns. You know what I'm saying? Man. And, yo, we'll keep moving forward, though. But I want to get some of your guys', especially Clark, TJ, Eric here. Keegan, way to nail it to talk first on this next one because we're going to pass it over to the Cleveland boys. Just real quick, we're going to get more and more into what Cleveland was into, but you guys traded away the second pick. Jacksonville ended up getting Travis Hunter, and, I don't know. You guys definitely saw that way that fucking young cat was talking about Travis Hunter at the press conference.
Oh, the glaze was crazy.
Dude, he
The
was.
Krispy Kreme glaze, man. My boy Gladstone was on one, man.
that was
He's a special player, unique. Like I just thought that shit. What a
He's
better.
he's uniquely fit for this position. I
what
was
do you
like,
say?
what
It's
the
like
hell are
not
you
always
talking
about
about?
football or something like that. In his interview, it's like, brother.
And I love it because like, what better place for Travis Hunter to go to is that type of introduction. He knows his worth this whole time. He's a fucking unicorn in this whole situation. Ends up going somewhere where they're like talking about him like he's a unicorn. That's perfect. Let him fucking ball out. He'll sell tickets. He'll fucking have a cool jersey. And shout out to TJ in the last pod. Travis Hunter's going to go down as one of the dogs. Probably be in the Hall of Fame. Won't win a fucking playoff game, but he's going to be a dog. Maurice Jones-Drew type dog. You know what I mean? Like, we all going to respect him. You're going to get everyone's respect with no glory. You're going to be the opposite of Tom Brady. Actually, fuck Tom Brady. As you guys go, the Browns traded with him. What did you guys feel, Browns fans, with trading out of that to get more picks? I thought it was kind of genius at first. I thought the way you saw it, the Browns kind of won the situation. They didn't want to pull the plug on Travis. But what did you guys think about the trade as soon as you heard it?
So,
Any-
I mean, I didn't feel like it was, I really didn't think they were going to do it until about 30 minutes before the draft when it really started circulating. And then it came out that they practically had a deal in place for 2 weeks. But the way Andrew Berry operates, he's not going to make that trade till the clock comes on just to see if you get another offer. As soon as I thought it was going to happen, I texted like my friends. I was like, if it includes 5 this year's second and next year's 1, I'll be totally happy about that. Just because that value is crazy for still staying in the top 5. So I was fine. I was fine with the trade. Like I really was. I did have my hopes up for Hunter, of course. But if you're going to trade back, I'm happy they did it for an actual haul and didn't trade out of like the top 10 or out of the top 5, especially
Just to
because
bail.
you needed, this team still needs young blue chip talent, and they still got it in Mason Graham and added picks.
Yeah. Oh yeah. What do you guys think, TJ Clark?
So I think immediately I felt like extreme sadness because I was watching the draft when like the Julio Jones trade happened, and we moved back for that, like so I until I figured out like the exact pieces and parts that make up the trade, like 536, 126 next year's first round. I can live with that. I love Mason Graham. But ultimately, I think its principle is why I have a problem with what the Browns did this year. And that, like, I feel that the last however many years, the front office has been just kicking the can down the road of taking a real game changer, and like I just like instead of this year going, okay, we have a widely regarded generational talent in Travis Hunter. They're like, oh, well, we could do the safe thing, the defensive lineman, and we could trade picks for next year. And then, like, next year comes up, and now the same questions are around. We're like, hey, are we going to take a quarterback or are we going to kick it down to next year? And is it going to keep being a problem that just rolls continuously into the next year?
Fucking Browns, dude. Like I love your answer is perfect. Like just to hear your perfect concerned answer as a fan. And to think, are they actually putting that much thought into it?
Well, to me, it's like being with a shorty that keeps cheating on you, man. It's like these people keep showing me why I should not trust them, and every year they're like, "No, you guys should totally trust us." Like I know we didn't have first round picks for 3 years. I know we gave up the biggest contract ever to a fucking a creep. Like oh yeah, like you guys really showed me that you're the fucking people that should be steering the ship, and I'm supposed to go, hey man, you know what, this year they're going to change things around and this year they got it. And it's like point to me anything on Andrew Berry's fucking resume that people point to go, wow man, he can really draft, let me tell you. And like people will use JOK as like Andrew Berry's like crowning achievement. And yeah, shout out JOK, but he fell to 33. How is it fucking genius to be conveniently on the clock when a guy falls 15 picks?
Ravens
it's like
do it every year.
Yeah, I'm like, what the fuck? How is this a fucking achievement, like this is incredible. It's like like finding a scratch off on the ground and hitting for 10 grand. Like I didn't fucking buy it. I didn't do anything, So what are we doing? You fucking got lucky. So I'm not gonna ride this. I'm not gonna ride the Andrew Berry coattails any longer with like the drafting. I have zero trust in them.
Mhm.
Well, and I think and that trade back too, I think they told you what they think about this season, like what they think the season's going to be. And that's why I'm partially even more okay with it, just because they're telling us like, hey, like we're going to get an extra pick for what could be a better quarterback class, what everyone assumes is going to be a better quarterback class. I think that's a dangerous assumption just because you never know, obviously.
Well,
But
definitely.
I think that's I'm not saying they're punting on the season, but like,
I think they were thinking
personally,
that
as a Browns fan, like, yeah. I didn't hear what you said, Keegan. Sorry. What'd you say?
I was just fucking around. I was saying I thought that they were thinking the same thing this year when they drafted 2 QBs.
I'm gonna have to put like a "that was easy" button when Keegan
That was-
fucking starts
Yeah.
yelling. He starts yelling.
Well, like with the Browns draft, like are we gonna get into it? You want to hear the Browns take?
Yeah, first I want Clark's take on the second pick.
Oh, for sure.
Because I thought Clark was on you like Ratatouille when he's on the motherfucker's head. Because
Yeah.
everything you were saying before that sounded like it was coming straight out of Clark's mouth. But Clark, you got anything else?
Really
So, yeah.
not. I like the point there. I think they're probably punting on this season. I think, and I don't know. I don't know what to think about it because it just pisses me off with them. I don't know whether or not I liked Mason Graham as a prospect. I think he'd be great. He's the best defensive interior lineman the Browns have had since they probably come back to Cleveland, and I think he can change the game. But like TJ said, you're passing on somebody that's seen as a generational talent at two positions that even though we have Denzel Ward, he's injury prone. Like he could have been a day one starter either side of the ball for the Browns. And we did get a guy that's going to start right away, but I don't know. It's frustrating with them. Like I said, and then the rest of the draft, as we'll get into, pissed me off even fucking more. So
Yeah. Well, it's going off of that, yes, TJ, and yes, I want to hear more of Eric's thoughts there before Keegan started jumping on him already because they drafted
just like the
they
entire
drafted your
draft.
QB, Keegan. They drafted your QB, that shitty ass motherfucker from fucking Central Florida. Or wherever the fuck
Hey,
he
dude,
is.
I tried to warn you about him and his fucking edible intakes. All right, I have been.
That's the only pick I can't justify. Like if they would have just switched to Shadur and Gabriel pick, I don't think I'd have to like sit. When it's that like you would have to sell me on it very much. You know what I mean? Like that's a pretty easy sell. I feel like the Gabriel one just no one saw coming. Like that was. But then after the draft process, it's pretty clear that for some reason they just fell in love with him in the draft process. Like Stefanski was talking to Gabriel's mom on draft night and shit. Like, and there was an obvious like relationship they built through the draft process. It was just crazy because like I knew he visited Cleveland, but outside of that, dude, especially in the third, which is at least a full round too early.
Yeah.
Like at least a full round too early. That's why that pick was just like that. That's like you're like okay, like
The kid
whatever.
does have experience, and we'll probably get later more into this as we keep going.
No,
but,
actually,
like,
Keegan, I was going to ask you, like, you're the fan of his before now. Eric, TJ, and Clark are going to be the fan of his. Like, what do you think of this whole thing too?
I mean, I definitely agree with Eric. I would have predicted more that they would have drafted Shador in this spot and then had it. Yeah, maybe would have got that kid later. They still wanted 2 QBs. But anyways, the kid does have experience. And this makes me wonder, like drafting wise, like when teams like have certain niches with certain guys, like they just see them fit that team. Like maybe the Browns do just want to have that experience, but they're also, they got Shador in the 5th round. So like that's a bonus thing. Like to me. And like, here's the way I'll bring this up real quick since I'm talking about Shador. Maybe he dropped because, guys, everyone knows that he's a fucking set with his dad. Do you really want to fucking pay Shador fucking a shit ton of money being a fucking 1st, 2nd round, 3rd pick when you know you could maybe have him drop and get him later on and pay him less and you still have him on your team? Like, I do kind of think in a way that this Browns having the 2 QBs is kind of smart for competition wise. Like, Joe Flacco's out the fucking door. Freaking, you guys are done with Watson. Like, I don't think it hurts to have a little competition in the QB
No, I don't
room
either.
right now.
Especially
I
when
really
the
don't.
5th round pick is a shot in the dark, man. Call it is. It's a dart throw.
Yeah.
The Gabriel pick is
He
hard
was
to
on the
understand
draft
because a
board.
3rd round pick, you're at least getting a backup usually. in that pick. And the Dylan Gabriel thing, like some people call him Case Keenum, but the problem with that is Case Keenum went undrafted, brother. Like Case Keenum wasn't a 3rd round pick. You know what I mean? But
Case
TJ, you
Keenum
got
has
anything to add?
yeah.
It's the tradition of the fucking pants on head stupid 3rd round picks. It's like the Siaka Ika, the Anthony Schwartz. It's like it's so difficult for me to sit like idly by and deal with the roller coaster of like, drafting Judkins, who I thought was a really good fit for us, where I was like, man, that's pretty sweet. We ended up leaving the 2nd round with Judd and Schlesinger. And then we go into the 3rd round and we leave with Dylan Gabriel, who potentially could have went, literally 80 picks later.
Yeah.
It's like you're going to reach 80 picks for a guy in the 3rd round who might literally never play for you. Because now what do you do if you get to the mini camp and Shador is as advertised and is a 1st round talent and he's playing well, taking reps with the 1s and 2s. So when we leave this draft with no offensive line, the entire Cleveland offensive line is going to be either retired or gone in 2 seasons.
Mm-hmm.
So we don't go in that direction at all. And then we don't leave with a receiver. And it's like, guys, we're wasting premium capital like in the 3rd round for, like you said, Eric, they're hit or miss guys in the 3rd round, but at least take that risk instead of kind of sitting, reaching for a guy that you like.
Well,
and it's unfortunate because I liked a lot of what they did. It's just that it fit perfectly with how the Browns draft.
Yeah. Yeah. And is it like as simple as Milroe going 2 picks before that and they panicked? Because Milroe would have made a ton of sense for them just as far as a project quarterback goes because of tools. But like I just look at the guys that were next on the board after the Gabriel pick. Jared Wilson, the center from Georgia, went next. Could have used that. Xavier Watts was 2 picks later, and we need a safety bad. Like Charles Grant went to the Raiders 3 picks later. Like there was just a run on guys that probably been a lot more exciting than that Gabriel pick. It's the only pick I can't justify this entire draft, honestly.
Hey, but you know what? I'll give him a shout out, bro. You're talking about a Heisman finalist, a dude that's been there for a long fucking time. We're talking about a motherfucker that fucking was balling out. Shadur, were you a Heisman finalist, son? No, your teammate was, and he won it. You know what I'm saying? And he was your wide receiver. You couldn't throw the ball so big. I'm just gonna be funny about it. Shadur, I think you kind of a dog, dude. It's all right. You ain't Jamarcus Russell. But I will say, I just think it's funny that the motherfucker that got drafted and traded up for a second was your teammate who you guys had a lot of wide receivers drafted in the draft. Yeah, that's great. But like, your arm talent wasn't really all there sometimes, so you needed a guy to play both ways so you could get the best guys on the field to look good. Your daddy wanted you to ball out. You know what I'm saying? Your daddy wanted the best for you. And you know what? All the people out there that are shitting on Shadur with the whole thing, like with his dad and like, oh, the NFL is bringing this and this. Nah, man. I you know what? I pride myself in one thing. I may not know everything about everything that's going on with the NFL, but I love NFL history. I love it. I love everything that the Shield is and is not is just interesting to me. Doesn't mean I agree with everything the Shield is, but you know what I'm saying? Like I there's a story here when you talk about the NFL, and when you fuck with the owners and when you start fucking with the people, man, they know where the power is. They're just gonna shut you down. It don't matter who you are. It don't matter if you're like flashy about it. I don't think that was the thing. Flashy is what they want. You're gonna sell tickets, but I think when you start, I don't know what happened, but when you hear about those meetings, when you start trying to act a certain way to like dudes that are in front office, dudes with like lineages and this whole thing and like just everything else, like, and they all chit chat together. Once you get one group text where it's like, yo, we ain't mess with him early, right? They probably put question marks so everyone agrees, right? We ain't messing with him early. No one's gonna mess with you.
Yeah.
And like, that's just the way it goes in the NFL. It's like that. Like, and you think it's like that now? Wait until you're fighting for backup positions and no one wants to hire you like Cam Newton. Like, Cam Newton knew how to shut his mouth for a while to get himself to a certain point. And I'm not saying Shadur had to shut his mouth. That's not the point. Like, I think the guys that talk the right way in a fun way, they make a lot of money. And he can't do that.
Burrow's a great example of that.
Like
it's not a bad thing to have an ego as a quarter, especially playing quarterback or even.
Yeah. I
Like
want you to have an ego.
when you talk about corners, like everyone gets annoyed with the corners doing the dances and
Yep.
shit. I'm like, no, you want a corner that plays with high energy like
Yep.
that. Like that's just the fits a position too well. You know what I mean?
Exactly, some confidence, and that's coming from a Niners fan where like Purdy's like tapioca pudding. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like Purdy he ain't got nothing to him, bro. When he eats fucking tacos with his family, he's just got nothing but like regular beef and regular cheddar. Like
He's Ritz crackers, man.
yeah.
Brock Purdy is Ritz crackers.
He's a Bud
man.
Light guy. He's a Bud Light guy.
Hey. And motherfuckers gonna get paid, but not that much. Shout out George Kittle. Love that situation. But anyways, yeah, I just want to stand up for Shedeur in that point. But yeah, dude, with the Browns, man, like, hey, you guys are riding with it. And I'm gonna go with you guys first because I'm gonna do the same thing with Keegan, because we'll get to him later here soon. With the trade, with the situation coming up, I know it's a big question, it's a broad question. You can answer it in different ways of whatever, comes to your mind. After the trade, we're going to the offseason. What are y'all thinking about the season? What are y'all thinking about the year? What are you already feeling? TJ already kind of said it. We're going into this year trying to think this is the year. I don't know, but like, what are you guys actually thinking that's going to happen this year? Your best scenario, your worst scenario.
The only team that's as Browns fan, it sucks to say, but it's just truthfully how I'm going to look at the season. The only team I hope does worse than the Browns this year is the Jaguars, just for draft capital. Because like if you're going in on a quarterback next year, which that's what signals with the trade, be bad and go get the quarterback. Like I'm not saying win 3 games, but like you better not win more than 6. And if you end up halfway through the season and you got a 500 record and you're fighting for a spot, cool. I just don't think that's the reality of the situation. Sanders, I'm not going to be surprised if training camp, because I was high in Sanders all draft process. So I feel like it'd be kind of lousy for me to switch my stance now, even though he fell in the draft, because I still like the player. I like the skill. I literally would not be surprised if he was quarterback 1, like in training camp, just because look at the guys he's going against. He can outshine all those guys pretty easy, I feel like. You know what I mean? Like Flacco, like, yeah, he showed flashes a couple years ago, but Flacco's going to be 40 for the season to start. So, where does that road end? Especially if you're not fighting for a playoff spot, what's the point of playing him where you could just at least play Gabriel and Shedeur and see if there's something, even if it's nothing, just something, you know what I mean? So I'm just, that's what I'm saying. The trade, like told me the way they're taking the season. Like TJ said, they didn't draft up, they didn't go for offensive line, they didn't go for receiver. What else does that tell you? You know what I mean? Like they took positions that they saw value in this season, and that was it. Like they didn't reach. I don't think they reached really, besides Gabriel. Like all the other picks I was happy with. I think the 2 running backs is a crazy fun young duo for at least 3 years in Cleveland before contracts start. I mean, Judkins and Sampson are going to be fun, dude. And I am glad they took Judkins over Trey, just because in running back 1 is Stefanski's system. I just see Judkins ceiling higher, and he doesn't have the injury history that Trey did younger in his career. But besides, yeah, I would have liked to leave offensive line, safety, receiver, all that. But outside of that, like Gabriel's the only pick I hate. I love the Fannin pick. I love the 2 running backs. Shedeur in the 5th. I mean, why not? I mean, what else are you going to get in the 5th round that late? Like, truthfully, so I'm fine with the draft. I'm fine with the draft. I already started starting quarterbacks for next year.
Is your over under for win 6?
I think that'd be fine with sports books. I think they're at 5.5 in the sports books. So
yeah, no shit. Damn, tough division though. I mean, we always like to bring that up on this pod. Like, I mean, yeah, people can point fingers at the Browns all they want, but the weird caveat to this whole thing, where like the Jaguars are more of a joke, like TJ alluded to. We're gonna keep talking about that as one of the best rants out there. But like, the Jaguars are just notoriously just mid as fuck always, right? And they have random spurts. But like the Browns division, yeah, but you're talking about like the Colts sometimes are hit or miss. The Titans doing what they doing. Like the Browns are going against the Steelers, Ravens, and Bengals, and like that, like it's not like the whole thing is dire. It's just the situation altogether is just fucking tough as fuck. I mean, the Lions, Keegan knows this. They dealt with that for years too, because the Bears were decent, Packers were decent, Vikings were decent for so long. And like that, it's not fair. It's not fair. But anyways, I'm gonna switch it over to Clark. I haven't heard his pretty little voice over there, man. Come on now. No Diddy. What do you feel about Cleveland, big dog? And yes, I casually said no Diddy. I casually said no Diddy. Get over it, folks. Grow the fuck up.
If they win 5 games, I'd be pretty fucking shocked, truthfully.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think they're going to be in the shitter. I expect probably a top 3 pick again. It's going to be just a circus. I'm sure Kenny Pickett's going to get the start. I think Kenny Pickett's going to be a day 1 starter probably.
I think he gets cut. He gets cut.
No, they're saying everyone from at least recently, the last few weeks, they've been saying that the Browns love Kenny Pickett for some reason.
Of course.
Yeah, exactly, right? They're saying that a lot, like on the radio, I've been hearing it and all this shit, and all the people from the team seem to really like him. And then I'm sure he's gonna suck, and then the Shador thing's gonna start by him playing, and then he's probably gonna suck just as bad. And it's just gonna be a circus, and we'll stop watching by probably mid-October. I'll just tune out and
You say that, but then you're like, yeah, I caught a half of the game. Like that's my
I'll probably
favorite.
start. It'll be like I'll watch the first quarter, and then I'm fucking asleep till the last 2 minutes. I wake up and they're down 30.
Or you check it and they're up by 7. You're like, I might as well
Yeah,
see what's
might as
what's
well
fucking
torture
cooking.
myself and watch them blow the lead.
Hey, go Irish, baby. We're spoiled right now. Let's go.
Yep.
Hey, let me ask these Browns fans this real quick. What do you guys like? Just because I am curious, since the 2 QBs and everything, like I do wonder, like, do you think like even if it doesn't work out with Gabriel or Shador, you think like that's a decent value trade since they're younger guys and stuff, like to give to a team? Like if it doesn't work out, like I don't think like what if the Steelers come crawling because they don't get it figured out at quarterback and really want Shador or something like that?
Start shopping people.
I mean,
I'm just
maybe.
saying.
I think Kenny Pickett could be a conversation in training camp when another team's quarterback goes down.
Totally.
You could probably get. I mean, you only trade a 5th round pick for him. So if someone gets hurt in training camp and someone wants to call for Kenny, you get a 5th round pick back because like there's 4 quarterbacks in the room. They're not going to keep 4, but they're also not going to cut their 2 draft picks. One, because I think Sanders is going to look too good in that quarterback room, and 2, Gabriel's a 3rd round pick, so he's practically uncuttable. So like it's between Flacco and Pickett. One of them's gone when the season starts. I think that's the way I think it's going to go.
I agree. I think if there's any value in trading Gabriel or Shador, it's not going to be anytime soon. It's going to be in 4 or 5 years. Like when, I could see Gabriel maybe being, a career backup and at, 28, 29, be a really solid clipboard guy, and maybe a team might, like you guys said, if there's a surprise injury, guy pops his knee in training camp or something, you could call for Gabriel potentially as being a fill-in.
Just not this season though. That's all. Just not like at least.
He's better
at
than,
least.
He's better than DTR. He's better than DTR. Come on.
Oh, absolutely.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. DTR, the only quarterback that Andrew Berry's drafted in his time in Cleveland, the least efficient quarterback to ever play the game of football.
Also a 5th round pick.
Oh yeah, perfect, fantastic. This is the fucking guy I'm supposed to trust.
What are you thinking over under, TJ, for wins?
I think Vegas is pretty close, man. I think 6. I could see 6. Like, it's cliche, but the division is a wood chipper, man.
Yeah.
We could completely foreseeably, go and lose every single division game this coming season. Like we might steal a Bengals game here or there, but while teams like the Ravens and the Steelers after this draft have gotten better, I think we're patching holes while they're getting better.
Mm-hmm.
So I just don't see it being, even close with us being like a 500 team. So I think 6 is about right.
I just checked FanDuel. FanDuel has that 5.5. So yeah, that's what Vegas is calling already is 5.5.
Oh yeah. Here we go, Brownies. Here we go.
If Kenny Pickett starts for the Browns on Sunday, I'm gonna be in the shower drinking 4 roses out of the bottle, man. I ain't watching Kenny, man. I'm not doing it.
Hey,
we get this Pittsburgh revenge game. That's gonna happen.
I talk so much shit about Kenny. I can't switch up or I'd be fake. I gotta stay with my guns, man.
Hey, honestly, in my opinion, like most people are saying, you start with Flacco just because the steady hand. He has it, right? Like you just know he's going to give you the best chance to not throw something crazy. And he's been playing with shit teams, so he just knows like we're just going out here to play ball. You figure out who really is that second stringer is going to be the most important position probably on the whole team, because like that means they're setting, like if they put him in the depth chart that way, they're setting a tone of who's really going to be the guy that's going to come in if shit goes haywire, because we're expecting it to, right? I think you guys are talking about 6 games. I think you win those games late. I think it's when you figure it out. I think it's when someone shows that they have a pair of nut sacks to fucking play, and guys just ball out for their contract deals and type shit. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to see that for guys like Myles Garrett. That's why you shouldn't have signed Myles Garrett.
Yeah.
Just because like that's the type of situation you might be in. But I think you guys win your games late. I do. I don't know. No one knows, the full schedule, right? That was that like May 14th or something like that. It's coming out.
Oh yeah, and they
Yeah.
have the second toughest schedule in the NFL this year.
Hey,
But most of that's because of the AFC North, though. You know what I mean? Like
hey,
that makes it a lot worse.
exactly.
But, yeah.
But hey, let's keep pushing. Let's keep pushing.
Let's
We'll
keep
fucking
pushing.
go. Let's go, Browns. Fuck Browns. I wanted to bring it up because we all knew Abdul Carter. Giants made sense. Did you guys see that this motherfucker's asking for Legends numbers,
Oh
bro?
my
I ain't
God.
never
Damn,
seen that
man.
before.
What a conversation this is right now on the good old Twitter. It's not X. Fuck off with that shit.
Yeah, it's always Twitter. Come on, now.
That's absurd, dude. I think it's crazy. I think it's crazy disrespectful personally.
Crazy.
Like if the legend comes out and offers it, then obviously that's different. But like, dude, like you like pushing that hard for it is just that's wild.
Oh wait, that is wild. Sorry, I may have messed up everyone's screen. Did I mess up everyone's screen?
No, mine's
Nope.
good.
Yeah. Just keep
Oh,
finding over
sweet.
here.
So I was
Yeah,
trying to
you
cut.
you can't show up and try to take LT's number, man.
No.
You ain't done enough lines, got enough sacks, or got enough dangly gold earrings to fuck with LT, man.
Yeah.
Facts.
I swear, and then what he was going after was that Sims with 11. That was
Yeah.
the other one he was going after too. Like, dude, Sims, like that's
Sims first, then Laura, then he went to Taylor, which is even crazier, by the way.
Yeah,
Which is so much
absolutely.
crazier. Oh, you guys don't want to give me my college number because it happens to be a legend there? Oh, I'm just gonna take a Hall of Famer that's been there fucking his whole career. What the fuck?
I swear, I'm like, bro, that's like when you especially talk about like hometown dudes that got their number retired. Like, bro, ain't nobody going after Bernie Kosar's number. You know what I'm saying? Like that's his number. That dude fucking did it himself. No one else knows about him. There he is. Phil Sims. I mean, people know about him, but it's like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you don't fucking do that. I just think that's crazy. That's why what you guys were thinking about that is I'm like, bro, that's, you know what? In my opinion, I talked about this on the pod before. I like toxic dogs. That's the way I like my NFL players. I want them to be a little toxic. You know what I'm saying? If you tell me Randy Moss wasn't toxic, you lying to me. If you tell me Tom Brady wasn't a little toxic, you lying to me. And Abdul Carter, hey, that toxicity's nice. You know what? Go after Michael Strahan next. You know what I'm saying?
That one might be more doable.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like go after somebody else next, man. But
Ask him on Good Morning America.
I just wanted
Whatever
to
show he's on.
this will be a quick answer. You guys ain't got to dive too deep in it unless you want to. But as I go around the board, I was talking about this with a buddy of mine, Abdul Carter. If you can answer it today, Hall of Famer, yes or no? I say yes.
Fuck, dude.
I'm gonna say yes because just trend wise, the first pass rusher off the board usually has probably a pretty decent chance of like they I feel like the top 5 edge rushers guys is probably one of the least like bust to boom ratios. You know what I mean? So I'll say yes. I'll say yes.
Hell yeah.
I'll say yes because he's kind of coming into a pretty violent pass rush. Like they didn't move Thibodeau and Brian Burns. So it's not going to be a Myles Garrett situation where he's the only player generating significant pass rush on every opportunity. So maybe the Giants are back to the old days of the violent defense and getting after the ball.
That is so hilarious, TJ. You literally read my mind, but I gotta go fucking opposite of all you boys. No, dude, you ain't a fucking legend yet, dog. Earn your fucking stripes, kid. Settle the fuck down, dude. You're over here trying to fucking take Hall of Famers.
He doesn't
Settle
become a
down.
Hall of
I'm the
Famer
one,
rookie
no.
year,
Fuck
Keegan.
off from deep with Coach Lowe, dude.
Completely diminished Jack's question.
Fuck that kid is what I got. That's what I got. Message.
Ain't a Hall of Famer yet, dude. That's all
Yeah,
I'm saying.
no
I was thinking like end of the day, is he gonna be one?
Yeah.
I know what you're saying, but I'm saying no. I'm saying no.
I don't feel like answering it.
Oh my god. Oh my god, that's hilarious. Clark, end the screen share real quick for me if you don't mind. I just want to see everyone's faces. That shit was
There we go.
hilarious. I had it actually on a cool thing. I left the screen share for a while, and I just started seeing your guys' faces all nice. It was weird. Every time it was your guys' face while you talked. That was slick. Yeah, Abdul Carter, man, you got the name for the Hall of Fame. You got the nice fucking face for the Hall of Fame. You're going to see that shit in bronze. And Keegan's still going to walk by that bitch. Be like, can you believe that motherfucker? Like, he's going to tell his grandkids, his rookie year, he tried taking Legends numbers. Like, he going to be
Tried
all
to take
pissed
Strahan's teeth.
all pissed off. I know.
Make his own gap.
Hey, I know we talked about it. Actually, no, we're not. I was going too far. I had to give an opinion. Patriots, man. Will Campbell. As we keep pushing, we'll keep pushing a little faster here. We're gonna go deep dive in the first top 5 or 10. Ain't nobody care about after that unless it's just random guys you thought that fell off, whatever. Blah blah blah. Will Campbell going to 4, bro. Shout out, dude. I think of you, TJ. I do because you know what? You know he spent all that time hitting motherfuckers with his face mask. Vrabel saw that and goes, "Oh
Dog.
yeah."
Will Campbell had me ready to run through a fucking wall.
He'll die for
My
his.
my boy jumped out of the fan boat in Monroe, Louisiana, eating king cake and crawfish, man. He showed up to draft night in one of Jim Carrey's suits from The Mask. He had the zoot suit on with tears in his eyes about protecting Drake May. He said, I will die to defend my quarterback with tears in his fucking eyes, man. That's a Vrabel pick, man. I'm
That is a
all in on
Vrabel
Will
pick.
Campbell Hall of Fame. Fuck Abdul Carter. Will
We could do Hall
Campbell
of Fame.
Yeah, I'm
to the
good now.
fucking promised land. Will Campbell to the fucking promised land, man. Did Will Campbell play for Ed Orgeron at Oregon?
I don't know.
Because if so, I never thought about that or checked that, but I
Let me
think
look.
that would be the most hilarious pairing of all time. Like Ed Orgeron with his like, you better take it easy on that seagull, boy. He's like, I jumped out the bog, sucked the head off a crawfish. You're like one of them guys, man.
Fucking
Will Campbell, Louisiana boy through and through, man. Tough as fucking nails, and you could tell on draft night he's fucking ready to die, bro.
Oh, ready. And you know,
Almost-
shout out. If you didn't play for him, you know he probably got started recruiting by him.
You already
It
know.
was Kelly. It was Kelly's first year. It was his freshman year. It was
Oh,
Brian
so
Kelly's
that,
no
first
so
year.
that,
at
so that
LSU.
means he was getting recruited by him, bro.
Yeah.
That definitely means he was getting recruited by him. And dude, I was thinking about this when you guys were saying it. Like all we know, other Keegan and Clark played in some college ball, is just like, and that's a whole different level. But like all we know is like some just dogs, right? And I was thinking about it after TJ was talking the last pod. I'm like, dude, Will Campbell in high school was probably one of the meanest motherfuckers to play against. Because like high school ball, if you can you imagine him playing wing T? Like I don't know what they were doing, but if he was polling and shit, bro, I ain't messing with that boy. Imagine you 15 years old, your grandma's in the stands, and Will Campbell's coming head first. Head first. Hey, shout out Michael Dieter. That's the only experience we had. Hey, Dolphins finest. Keep going, dude. Will Campbell, fucking dog. Go Patriots. I told you boys during the pod, I don't want to see them draft this high. I think they're good for the NFL when they ball out. That division's sorry as fuck, and I want to see the Patriots ball out. You know what? I'm a Drew Bledsoe guy. Fuck Tom Brady. That's how much I think the Patriots should be relevant. Go Pete Carroll. Fuck Belichick with his weird little fucking side piece. That shit's creepy. Would you guys see that? That's a topic
yeah.
a little bit right there. Did you guys see?
Oh no, I didn't get into that yet. I've been pushing
Dude.
it off.
Dude, it's actually just. I'm glad you said that because I wanted to push it off because I like Bill Belichick. I always said Bill Belichick made Tom Brady. Tom Brady just executed on the situation, Mamba mentality style. I think without Bill Belichick, none of that shit happens, right? I love Bill Belichick. His book just came out. Shout out Bill Belichick. But man, when he's sitting there during the interview, I didn't want to watch it. And when she goes, we ain't gonna answer them questions. It's like, and he's sitting there with holes in his shirt. Come on, Bill. You're at Jordan U. You should be wearing some flashy ass baby blue shit, bro, with some nice ass fucking Jordan symbols on it. No, you sitting there with Navy. You know what, brother? You need to see a therapist. You think about your granddaddy too much. You need to fucking live in the now, son. Not live in the past.
Let's keep it real, man. If you ever been to court, you know what we ain't gonna answer those questions means, and it means nothing good.
No good.
No, so the speculations and shit is doing Bill dirty, man. I worry about Bill's situation and where this might go.
All I know is that it'll be bigger than fucking what's his name, Sketch. It'll be bigger than his OnlyFans when they find
God.
hers. When they find hers, they're gonna be like, Bill was contributing, dude, paying her more than he was paying Edelman. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Hall of Famer Edelman, by the way.
Yeah.
Our Patriots Hall
hey,
of Fame.
Patriots Hall of Fame, shout out Edelman. Hey, you guys see Kent State has a chance of losing their D1 program as well. You guys should look into that. That's sad. That's sad. Shout out James
Coach is
Harrison.
stealing money from the university or something like that, right?
Kent State, bro. Yeah, bro. And in my dynasty, on my NCAA, Kent State made fucking waves, baby. Fed families.
I think Coach Keegan Lowe is ready for action, man. Put him in charge of the program, man.
Yeah, dude.
Bring him back.
Bring him back.
Dude,
Bowl game in no time.
You could be like Billy O'Brien taking back Penn State, but for Kent State. You know what I'm saying?
Kent State.
You're gonna be killing it. All right, I know we talked about it. Let's push through him with his top 5, bro. We said all this Brown stuff. We did. A couple things about Mason Graham, but let's shine a little light on Mason Graham, bro. What a fucking dog and fucking animal. When you watch his tape, especially against like those pictures you have against USC, where dudes are just flying. That's a grown ass man that's fucking 300 something pounds. He's just flying. You know what? He kind of reminds me. I was gonna ask you guys. I can't remember his name. I think he played at Washington. You guys had like a Samoan dude that played for a while. Sheldon, was that it?
Danny
Yeah,
Shelton.
Sheldon.
Danny
Yep.
Sheldon, yeah.
Kind of like that. Where like you get that with a Miles Garrett pair up, dude. Shout out fucking Mason
That's what,
Graham.
him and Miles are going to be freaky, and even the Mike Hall Jr., who had a pretty good rookie year despite some injuries. But TJ and Mike, I don't know if you guys really watched him when he played last year, but he was pretty disruptive too, man. This D line shaping up to be. This is going to be fun D line. Might not be a good team, but this D line is going to be freaky.
It's gonna be like the old Browns days where like
Yep.
every game's gonna be kind of close, even though you lose them all. You know,
Yeah.
like
Final score is going to be 14-7 each game.
yeah.
Hopefully, Mike Hall stops brandishing a weapon against his girlfriend.
Yeah.
and gets some more playing time.
Hey, that got what's it called? Whatever it does when it goes away really fast.
Settled.
Well, you know, if our D line is really capable this year, it immediately makes the Schlesinger pick much better. You know, like watching
yeah.
Schlesinger on film, he kind of gets pinballed a lot. You
Yep,
know,
he-
like
he
spends
gets
a lot
on
of
the
time on
ground
the
a lot.
ground. Yeah,
Yep.
you know, like he's one of those cats. So, you know, if you got Mason Graham and Miles Garrett and Mike Hall, dare I say Ogbo Okoronkwo if they don't move away from him, you know. But you know, if they can hold up the blocks and keep guys from getting to the second level and, you know, chasers moving up to Schlesinger, he's a hell of an athlete. And with lanes to run through, he's going to make a lot of tackles.
If you got Mason Graham keeping, let's just be optimistic and say JOK maybe next season, maybe not this season, but maybe next season. If you got Mason Graham keeping JOK and Schlesinger clean, that's all of a sudden a really strong linebacker room, like a very strong linebacker room.
Just need JOK. Is JOK come back from the neck?
He's working out with the Browns, which is a good sign. Like at least he's actually doing workouts and stuff. I'm just gonna assume until I hear something different that he's not gonna play this year
Hey, at least
because
he's
of how
working
bad
out,
that
man.
injury was.
Like
At least
that-
he's showing up and like he's not in a fucking stretcher or some shit. You know what I mean?
Isn't it wild how that works for you guys? You start getting other pieces together, but like a guy like him behind your D line this year would be electric. You know what I'm saying? It really would. And, you know, hopefully Newsome and guys like that play as good as they look. You know what I'm saying? That dude looks swaggy as hell out there.
I've been telling him to trade him for 2 fucking years. I'm sick of that motherfucker. Man.
Yeah, same dog. I'm not a believer in him at all.
All right, here we go. Dude, got to talk about it. Is this Hall of Fame or not? I'm so I'll put you guys on the spot. Is he going to have that type of career? I think this is another good one with Carter. Ashton Genty, Raiders.
No.
Clark, what we got? Clapping for it, bro. Riley Leonard style. Yeah.
He's gonna be good. I think he's gonna be a dog.
Dog.
Yeah, I think he's gonna get so many fucking carries. He's gonna get fed the ball. So
yeah.
I'm pumped for him. I think he's gonna be. I wouldn't be surprised if he finishes top 5 in yards this year, truthfully, because I think they're gonna give him the ball that much for real. I don't really think they have many other running backs and new coach.
He can handle
we'll
the
see.
carries too.
Pete
He's showing
Carroll,
that.
especially as a head coach, you know.
Yeah,
Pete Carroll,
absolutely.
especially.
He'll get 300 plus, I think, this season.
Hey, Pete Carroll don't hand the ball off when it's a Super Bowl at the goal line, dog. I don't
Yeah,
know,
except
man. Yeah, what the fuck? What do you think, TJ Ashton Genty? You think he's gonna be a Hall of Famer? Yes or no?
I'm going to say no.
Ooh, I love
Right?
it.
For Hall of Fame, I'm going to say no. And I have on my notes that during draft night, Ashton Genty's pro comp was Emmitt Smith. And I just thought to myself, like, now I was off of some Modelos, but I thought to myself, like, we're real. Now, I totally get it. He's a great player, but are we really comparing Ashton Genty to the NFL leading rusher, like career leading rusher? I think it's a hard starting point, and I think it's going to be a difficult like learning curve for him in the NFL game. Like, Mike is right, you know, with the 300 carries, you know, he's going to get the ball a lot, but I watched the Raiders a lot last year. Like I made the mistake of having Zamir White on my fantasy team, and like their leading rusher last year had like 400 yards. I think it was Madison. Alexander Madison.
Alexander Madison, yeah.
He had like 400 yards. They went through like 6 running backs. Like, it was horrendous football to watch. So I'm not sure. An interesting point, I sent it to one of my group chats earlier in the week. DraftKings was running a bet that was Ashton Genty over 1,300 yards at plus 300. And I just don't think the value is that good. Like, I think they're wonky odds. Like, 1,300 yards puts him like what, top 6 last year in rushing?
That's what we found.
I'm curious what the rookie running back's record is, because that'd probably have to be it, right?
There's Dickerson, I think, is the rookie record
yeah,
for like 1,800 or some shit.
And then Zeke,
oh my god!
To give us some more recent ones too, George Rogers in the 80s went for 1674. Zeke in 2016 went for 16, and then Adrian Peterson has a single games record.
Yep, 296 yards, baby. Let's go.
In closing, I'm all for the resurgence of running backs. I think like football goes through ups and downs of like being a passing game, and that eventually towards the end of like this modern NFL, I think it's going to go back to like hard-nosed I-form football and go through kind of the natural transgression of like, look at this new thing. And it was the way football was played for 50 years.
It's always a circle, it's always a circle.
Yeah. I'm not ready to call Ashton Genty a Hall of Famer yet.
The only reason I wouldn't want to call him a Hall of Famer is because like I saw Nick Chubb. If you had asked me 2 years ago if Nick Chubb's a Hall of Famer, I'd be like, yeah, how would he not be? And now look at us now, you know what I mean? All it takes is those 2 bad luck plays and your career completely changes.
Hey,
especially for a running back.
If Gale Sayers is a Hall of Famer, Nick Chubb's a Hall of Famer. That's all I gotta say. Gale Sayers only put in like 8 years, 9 years towards ACL in the old days. Hey, and I did want to say this real quick. Sorry, I hit my brain. ADHD is a hell of a drug. Travis Hunter, just want to say this real quick. It'd be kind of ironic I got 3 letters for why Travis Hunter won't make it. ACL. I was thinking about that the other day. I was like, bro, what kind of fucking situation would it be? All this love for this guy who's going to play both ways, and then his shit fucking rips in half. I just couldn't help but think that. I don't like thinking that, but I'm like, damn, man, come on now. Keegan, I have to ask you. I waited for you last. Don't want to be too long-winded on it. Ashton Genty, he's a dog. You love that guy probably, don't you?
I'm putting him down as dog Hall of Famer, dude. I freaking love the running backs. I'll be honest with this. Do we have stats? Who were top 5 rushers last year? Because Clark kind of, when he brought up that point of being one of the top rushers, I kind of want to know. Because I would say like Saquon's number 1 running back in the league right now. I think Jahmyr Gibbs number 2. He's still
yards wise or overall?
Yards. Overall, I'm just trying to think like number wise.
All right, you want me to give you the top 5 real quick?
Yep, give me top 5.
CMC's coming back.
Saquon had over 2K. Derrick Henry had 1,900. Bajan had a little under 15. Jonathan Taylor had 1,430, and Jahmyr Gibbs had 1,412.
Shout John Taylor.
So he'd have to be a top 7 rusher to get 1,300 yards this year, like you said, TJ. Josh Jacobs also had over 1,300 yards this year.
Future Hall of Famer. I don't think he's a top rusher this year. I don't know if he gets to the top 7.
But he's still in the Hall of Fame.
But he's still in the Hall of Fame. All right. He's still got to work at it.
I love the Emmitt Smith thing, TJ. It makes me think, like, do we know if the Raiders got any dogs on the offensive line? Because Emmitt Smith became a Hall of Famer because of Larry Allen and guys like that.
Looking at their stats last year, I gotta imagine they didn't have a good offensive line. They averaged 3.2 yards a carry, I think it was. So that tells me that offensive line probably wasn't great last year in the run game.
Who was a running back last year?
Amir Abdullah, Madison, and then Zamir White got some carries too.
Yep. Big drop off. Shout out Jonathan Taylor again. Big drop off. John Taylor's a dog. As we start going out of here, those are like the big top 6. After that, it starts to kind of go all over the place. Of course, there's still some dogs. I'm not trying to discredit these guys. But anything else in the first round that really caught your guys' eye? I will just say this first before I let you guys run with it. That kid from Georgia is what I was talking about, that Williams kid, Michael Williams. I wanted that for the Niners. I did. I think that I just want to get my Niners thing out. I think that was kind of perfect. That's what I was kind of hoping for. Of course, we picked a lot of edgers, in our draft. But shout out to Williams just to be out in that situation, with Saleh back, Fred Warner. It's funny you guys talk about some of these draft picks and what round for the Browns. And, TJ said a lot of luck has to come into play, and I really do agree because, the Niners, like, if you look at the guys we paid, they're not first-round guys. Like, all the guys that are paid on our team come from luck. And that's kind of like you kind of need that. And I always thought the Niners are kind of like a weird version of the Browns, but it worked out. Like we have Brock Purdy that worked out. We have this. We have guys that we paid a bunch of money. CMC, of course, is kind of showing a little bit of that Cleveland dust in there. You know what I mean? CMC's kind of on one leg right now, but shout out to him to come back next year. I'll just say, have to put it out there. You guys did your over-unders for your teams. I'm going to get to the Lions when we get to their pick because the Lions were so good, they don't pick till later. Over-under with San Fran, I think we win about 11 to 12 games, and I think we have a chance to fight for the conference title if the Rams fall off at all. If the Rams get hurt with Stafford, I think we can win it. Or for the division, I mean. Not conference. I mean, I'd like to make it there. Like, come on, let's go. I'd like to see the Niners against the Lions. We'll pass the torch to you, and then you can lose the Super Bowl every year instead of us. That'll be just fine with me. But just had to put that pick in there. And also the other one is Colston Loveland to the Bears. I just thought that was wild. I'm a big Cohen fan, of course. Shout out the Irish. But it's just like, man, to pick up it just shows you how confident they are, I think, in their free agency signings, that they can kind of just pick up some scraps that they want in the first round. I feel like a lot of teams at that caliber that are a little lower don't have that, like I don't know, they're not allowed to do that. And the Bears, I think they're allowed to do that, which kind of shows me their confidence in what they're going to do, even though I think they play in the other toughest division other than the AFC North. I think that division with the Vikings Lions is just crazy. And then shout out Saints.
Warren too.
Yeah, exactly. Wild. I just wild.
I don't remember who exactly reported it. I was just jumping in on Loveland.
Yeah.
I had read a report that during draft night leading up to the Bears pick that their phone was ringing like constantly, and that once Loveland came off the board that teams were actively trying to move up for Loveland, and that once he went, the phone stopped ringing.
Okay.
And that, it might have been one of those things that, maybe the NFL thought Loveland was tight end one all along instead of Warren, which was consensus tight end one on a lot of people's boards.
I love that. You said that, Eric, right there, was saying Tyler Warren, like that, just because we all thought like Tyler Warren's a dog. And shout out to Indianapolis Colts though. Like there's some guys that get drafted at certain places where I kind of like it because I'm just like, you know what, that team's so fucking dull at certain times that you kind of need a wild dog in there. I hope he wears the Dallas Clark, 4-4 type shit. Like that would be hard. You know what I'm saying? I'd love that. I'd fucking love that. But anyways, you guys, anything to run with what you thought of the draft? That was just my thoughts. Want to get out of the way to let you guys run with the ball.
I mean, Giants turning up for darts, definitely a story.
Yep.
Donovan Jackson went a little bit earlier than I anticipated. And then the Falcons giving up a first to move back in, giving up next year's first. I thought that was pretty wild.
Yeah,
Giving up
especially
a
for
first
James Pierce, who's like gonna terrorize the Atlanta community, from what we've been told.
Yeah,
So.
yeah, and
Good
it's
luck.
just like you're just really betting on Penix. Like I'm not even. This isn't even about quarterback specifically. This is about weapons for your quarterback. Like, what if you need a receiver bad next year? You know what I mean? It's just that was just a really aggressive move. I'm excited to see if it does work out because that when I saw they traded a first, you know how fast Rams, I would say, oh fuck yeah, we'll trade back 20 spots if you give us your first next year, for sure. Like I thought that was pretty wild.
Yeah, that was a good one. That was one of the better fleeces of the draft, truthfully. I don't know who really signed off on that, or I mean, they had to have been in love with the guy, right? I mean, that's a big give. That was one of the odder things. And what was the other? I had one more thing that I'll come back to it in a second. Hold on.
I thought too that was it Kansas City and Philly traded the last two.
Oh yeah, that was it. The linebacker that Philly got, the fucking dude
Keegan's guy
was talking
Keegan's
about.
boy, yeah.
Of course he goes to fucking Philly of all places. Oh,
with that front seven,
Yeah. Perfect fit.
Fucking nuts. Keegan, speaking of that, I want to get to you, big dog. Lions. You got Williams. Tyleek Williams. Ohio State kid. Eric, Ohio State boy. Is he pretty solid? I mean, you know how I am. I can't fucking,
Yeah, he's fun to watch.
Yeah.
His pass production isn't there in stats, but I think all this walk to Buckeyes a lot. He did show up in pass rushing. It's kind of like Mason Graham with his pass rush, where he didn't get a lot of college sacks, but when you're a defensive tackle, your pressure rate kind of matters a lot more than actual sacks do. It's different from an edge because you kind of push the sacks to them. So I love Tyreek. I don't know how high the ceiling is, but I know the floor is high. Like, so in that you just can't go wrong. And how bad they just need a D line, especially a young, healthy guy.
Yeah.
And the Lions, it's a great pick for the Lions. I just didn't see it coming.
Since
But
a lot
I
of
don't
you guys
dislike it.
since a lot of you guys are Ohio State fans, like, how's his motor? Like, because I didn't watch a whole lot of Ohio State games besides you guys playing Oregon and stuff. But like, how's that kid's like motor, even if he's like not making the plays? That guy, like, doing his job and he's just like flying around making plays. Is he trying to stay on the field, or is he like trying to get out and rotate?
Yeah,
No,
I'd say go ahead,
Oh.
TJ. Sorry.
Oh no, I was just gonna say that, we watch Tyreek play a lot, us Buckeyes fans, and he has as high a motor as a dude that big can have playing interior defensive line. Like it wasn't. I don't think it was a question mark. Like with some guys, you're like, oh man, but he's the closest thing to a forklift. Like that you could have possibly gotten for an interior defensive lineman. Like, you watch his tape, and a lot of the times, he's starting the guard 3 yards into the backfield. He's he's a grass killing, like, people mover.
Yeah. I love his freaking reach and get off right away, man. Because he
He's
freaking, like
disruptive.
you
He's
said, he sets
disruptive.
that guy back 2 to 3 yards right off the bat. And yeah, I really like this pick. So I'll be honest, my first reaction, I was a little curious because who was on the board. I was like, fuck, there's Mike Green on there. There's other like actual edge guys and stuff like that. But the more I like thought about this pick and everything, it just makes so much fucking perfect sense. It helps our interior D line. I think the kid's going to be able to help give Lee McNeil, who just was injured last year. He's still going to be trying to come back off of that injury and everything, buy some time to recover. And God, it just adds depth. Another young kid to go beat up on the line to freaking take the reps off of our old guys and try to keep them healthy for the playoffs. So I love it. I think it worked out for the best. They picked the best guy that was available.
Did your heart hurt a little bit? They passed on your boy,
Which boy?
Jahad Campbell.
Jahad Campbell.
Oh,
I know a part of you had to be like, oh, this would be fun.
Well, that's what I was saying. That's why I was a little confused, freaking, because I was like, fuck, there's Mike Green, there's Jahad Campbell. Like, there was some fucking dudes on there that I was surprised. So when I did my research a little bit more on Williams, then I was like, all right, you know what? It makes sense with the team. And this whole draft. And you know what? Fuck this. Actually, I got to get on their fucking ass about this. How the fuck you going to give Brad Holmes an F with that fucking draft, dude? Fuck that bullshit. That was not a fucking draft. We're just that fucking good now, dude, that we fucking only get our picks when we get them. And we fucking still moved up and got the guys we wanted. So fuck off with that F bullshit, dude. I gave us a solid C plus, and we moved the fuck on. All right.
Oh yeah,
Move the
Detroit's
fuck on.
finest. Detroit's finest. Let's go, bro. The Red Wings suck. Pistons fucking got the ass whooped. And then we sitting here, go Lions. Come on, baby. Come on with it. TJ, the genius himself, fucking the big brain. What is there anything that you saw with this end of the draft, the way everything played out? Anything that spots out to your mind? Or just anything you have to say about the Lions. We love some Lions talk on here. People are too scared to talk about the Lions, I think, because they just don't know. You know what I mean?
No, I respect the hell out of the Lions, man. I mean that is like the NFL's like quintessential football team. They got Jared Goff, like a real man's man of a fucking quarterback. The 1-2 punch, Sonic and what do they call him, Keegan? Sonic and Knuckles.
Yeah.
Like that shit. Amon Ra. They got Sam Laporta, the offensive line, Penei Sewell. With all this talk about one gorilla versus 100 men, give me 100 Penei Sewells, and we putting that gorilla in a fucking box. That gorilla's family is going to be singing Amazing Grace standing around the coffin if I got 100 Penei Sewells, man. I fuck with the Lions, and they're one of those teams that it makes my heart happy. Like, I look to the moon sometimes, and I think maybe Dan Campbell's somewhere looking at it too, because they escaped the poverty that is like NFL sadness. Like, their fans they were right with Cleveland wearing
Yeah.
fucking paper bags to games and shit. And look how they've grown. It's like when your kids leave for college. It's like I'm an empty nester watching Detroit go to the glory.
Can't say it any better, baby. Go Lions. Come on, man.
Yeah.
Let's get after it. I'm a fucking John Kitna fucking connoisseur. You know what I'm saying?
Shout
Dude,
out.
that gorilla is getting fucked up, dude. We're losing no Penne Souls. It's just gonna be 100-0. That gorilla dead, dude.
Hey,
No doubt. No doubt.
100 gorillas versus Penne Sul. Come on. That's
Oh, Penne Sul.
that's more fair. Shout out to the Lions. That makes me smile, bro. I think it's a tough division. It's only gonna make you tougher, Keegan. It's a good thing. You have to stay up with the Jones. You gotta keep up with the Joneses, right? So
Dude, they're fucking making moves too, man. I can't lie. Freaking watching the Bears and the Packers and the Vikings, like they just don't stop, and they're fucking coming right on our fucking tail. So we gotta go fucking execute this window, dude. It really is.
I know it's a dangerous world when you come on a lion's tail, dude. It really is. It really is. It's a wild situation.
So I got
yeah.
three little points real quick. I just
No.
wanted to skim through. See what you guys think,
Get
man.
after it.
So on my notes, I got Emeka Egbuka at 19 to the Bucks. I thought was really interesting, and I think it's an indication that like they think that they might be ready. The fact that they drafted a position they have depth at. They think they could win now, and then I worry that maybe they're not trusting Chris Godwin's recovery from his like horrific injury last year. So we got the Buccaneers with Egbuka. Omari and Hampton to the Chargers, I thought was a fantastic pick. I think Jim Harbaugh is going to love that guy. I think Najee Harris is going to be out of there as soon as they see how Omari and Hampton runs the football. I don't know if after this season you're going to see a lot of Najee if Jim falls in love with Omarion. And then I also have Malachi Starks at 27 to the Ravens. I texted a couple people on draft night, with the Ravens picks, and I was like, man, I'm sure this won't come back to haunt us at all. I'm sure, the Ravens, the best drafters in the NFL the last 5 years, I'm sure picking up Starks towards the end of the first round, without moving up or moving down, I'm sure that won't be something that haunts Cleveland fans for the next decade.
I got you. So on your the Emeka pick, that was super surprising. I'm pretty sure they do have an out in Goodwin's contract after 1 year though, so I could definitely see that, especially with that injury. I think there was a 3-year deal, but I think they have an out, like a team option after this first year. So, and then the Ravens, man, not only getting Malachi Starks in the first, coming back with Mike Green in the second that late, just fall. And I know Mike Green has character concerns, but dude, the production, like, oh god, it's such a Ravens draft. It's such a Ravens draft, and this is why they're so good over here, because everything just falls to them, man. They never get super aggressive, and they're just so good at it. Sorry, I just had to touch on those 2 points, TJ. Very good points.
No, and I don't think the character concerns really like scare the Ravens. Like
No.
they've built such a culture, and even then, like I hate to say it, but if you're the Ravens and you take a flyer on Mike Green, what do they really lose if he doesn't work out? They're still a Baltimore Ravens, so a guy clubbing someone in the head with a Timberland boot doesn't steer them away from a player. Like they're not.
The culture's
built. The culture's already built.
Yeah, either get with it or get gone, man.
It's like a high five.
Mike Green, balls in your court, man.
Eric, I loved your points. I was really interested in Godwin's contract. I don't see anything about the 1 year. I could see that, but this is the catch for him. What a dog. His agent deserves a lot. He got 66 mil, but it's worth 44 million of it guaranteed, regardless what happens to him.
Oh, okay.
So he got hit hard. He actually reportedly left 20 million on the table to return to Tampa Bay. People were willing to spend even more. But I just thought the 44 million guaranteed. I know a lot of people are talking shit about guarantees.
Yeah, I had that wrong. My bad.
No, I love the guaranteed money stuff, because it's just good for these guys. Like, you know what I mean? Like you put in that work and you help the franchise out enough, you get hurt, let it rip. And TJ, to your point, man, this is a Bucks friendly podcast. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's the Baker love. We still love Baker over here. I think the Bucks are they're kind of like a weird team that can be elite within a non-elite division.
Yeah.
Like the division calls for somebody to look better, right? And a lot of people will call them phonies by the time they lose in the second round of the playoffs. But you know what I'm saying? But it's like they can go to the playoffs. They're built for it. You know, Panthers are still building. Everyone's still building. Atlanta could be better. We'll see what happens.
Conference is just so bad.
And
So bad.
I agree. I'm expecting them, and shout out my boy Jack Fry for the Carolina Panthers, man. Jack, shout out. But I'm expecting the Bucks to come in and beat the fucking brakes off the division, man.
Yeah.
Like I look at the Bucks like I look at the Rams, kind of, that they think they're ready to win, and they just need a couple pieces. So they're coming back what they think is at full power, you know, and ready to try to make a run to the playoffs. And the road, honestly, probably could not be easier.
Yeah.
You should walk into 6 wins. Like walk into 6 wins. You know what I mean?
Easily,
In division play
easily.
only. In division play only.
Yeah. And the difference is between the Rams is they ain't got to go against Fred Warner with the Buck. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on with it, baby. We're going to fucking do what we have to do. The Jackson Dart thing with the Giants. I want to get back to Eric real quick. Sorry, I'm just jumping around here with what was happening. Dude, I think Jackson Dart's kind of like a made man to be with the Giants. They fucking, like, who they got? Russell Wilson?
Winston. Jameis signed there too.
Shout out Jameis.
Tommy DeVito, baby.
Damn, so the
Is he still with
Giants,
him?
yeah, he is. The Giants are the NFC Browns of the quarterback room. That's for damn sure. And it's crazy to think about that when the Browns and Giants both had Shadur Sanders kind of hand-fed to him, like early on. And I'm not talking about just for this draft. I'm talking about when Shadur was posting the cleats and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, man, what a fucking situation there. Just wild. Just wild.
The Giants also grabbed Darius Alexander at the top of the third, which I forgot about. The defensive tackle from Toledo.
Yeah.
So that D line's gonna be stacked, man.
Oh,
Let's
That
not
D line's
forget
gonna be stacked.
Scattaboo in the fourth too.
Yeah.
Keegan a little bit further than we thought, but he went.
Oh yeah. We knew that was the long shot. That was the long shot.
Is there speaking of that though, like even though that's like fun for us, like is there anybody that didn't get drafted in the first round that you guys just thought really would? Other than our draft, of course.
Will Johnson's fall was pretty
Yeah, he
wild.
must have had bad medicals. He must
Yeah.
have. So they must have found something concerning because he was pretty much seen as the top corner through most of this process. Here.
He's probably the most like shocking one. I think that went as far as
Yeah.
he did. Mike Green, obviously, it's just the Ravens, so I don't want to give it too much attention because it hurts my feelings.
Yeah. Hey, and a shout out our boy Clark. Fucking speaking of the Buccaneers, Ben Morrison. Let's go.
Yeah, that was one of my other favorite picks of the draft. They got great. I really think if he's healthy, he could go in there and start day one. Like he's that good. I've been telling people forever that just because he got hurt last year, people kind of forgot about him.
Do you think? I think me and Jay were talking about this. Do you think? I think he plays slot. He ain't big enough to be on the.
No, he'll be a fucking amazing slot corner though.
Yeah.
Like come in on nickel and dime
Look at that
packages, he'll be
DB
great.
room.
Yeah. Where did Watts went to?
Was it
Where
Packers?
He went to the end of the third to was it the Eagles that took him? Yeah, it was the Eagles, I think.
Oh, let him join the fucking the aggressive ass.
Oh, the
fucking-
Falcons.
he
I'm
is
sorry,
on
the Falcons. The Falcons. The
Oh.
Falcons. I'm sorry. My bad,
I was
boys.
just saying with the Eagles. I was like,
The Eagles
damn.
did. I
yeah.
forget what safety the Eagles drafted though. The Eagles snagged a safety.
Hey, shout out to the boys, dude, getting out there. Doing
Oh,
their
the
fucking thing.
Eagles took Mukumba, the Texas safety.
Oh,
All right.
yeah.
Before I jump forward to the next thing, before we wrap up after the next thing, any other draft thoughts whatsoever on the draft? Any more Shadur talk? Anything of that nature? Anything that you guys feel you want to say before we move forward from this experience? And I just want to let everyone know our draft was fun, but like, hey, the first 5 picks we looked like kind of like we knew what we were doing, but everyone knew they were going to pick those guys. It wasn't, we predicted Shadur was going to drop, right? You know what I'm saying? Like, we fucking on accident. But anything else about the draft you boys want to throw out there to the wall?
I love the Bears draft as a whole. I thought the Bears knocked it out of the park. Their first 4, off the top of my head, were Loveland, Luther Burden in the second, Ozzie Trapilo in the late second, because they had 2 second-round picks,
Mhm.
and then they came back with Shamir Turner from the defensive tackle from A&M. He played edge last year, but he was a lot better when he played tackle the year before in 2023, and I think he's going to go back to that with the Bears. I love the Bears draft. Outside of the high picks, so that's just all I had. I just love their draft class. I'm really
I
high
love
on
you
the
say that.
Bears.
My family, Bears fans in my family, a bunch of them, dude, same thing in that household. Like, everyone's pretty hyped up. Off-season draft combined might be one of the best you got to combine the two, right? It's kind of the same
Mhm.
thing. It's no different than kind of like college now when they talk about the portal mixed with who you recruit. I think the Bears fucking killed it, and that's Keegan. That's why I'm like, bro, like let everyone make each other stronger, and you guys can run that shit. Anybody else?
I kind of after the draft, like after day 2 and day 3, from an outside perspective, I'm kind of worried about the Dolphins. I wasn't super into the Dolphins draft, and I think they're unserious, and I think potentially Mike McDaniel is going to be on the old hot seat.
And
I think you
Tua
can
watch
only
maybe. Tua watch
yeah,
maybe as well.
I think, all of that like weird shit of him like kneeling on a rug at Burning Man and selling ecstasy, like that only works like if you're winning. You can be weird and that's fantastic and eccentric, but I just think the Dolphins are prime for a disappointing season. And I wanted to add too that I think the Saints, with the Tyler Shuck pick, uh, I just don't like Tyler Shuck at all. I've watched so much of him play, and it just screams Brandon Whedon to me with like a wonky arm angle every once in a while.
Yep.
A lot of turnovers.
Lots. Was it like
A
20,
ton.
20 touchdowns, 9
Yeah, and
interceptions, or
touch on
something
that
like that?
Dolphins thing too. Completely just out of my mind. They took Kenneth Grant 13. Like
Yeah.
that was pretty surprising on draft night. That like that, and I love Kenneth Grant. I think he's gonna be a stud, but that just felt like a weird matchup for a team. And then I mean they only had 2 picks in the top 4 rounds. Like
Well, and you
yes,
look like shortly after the picks after Kenneth Grant, you got Tyler Warren at 14, Jalen Walker at 15, and Walter Nolan at 16. And it's like if I was the Dolphins, I might have preferred any of those 3 guys to Kenneth Grant. And I thought Grant was really good. I just think, to get an impact on day 1, I think any of those 3 guys, could have potentially beat out Kenneth Grant.
yeah, and Barron was such an easy mock player to them too for almost the entire offseason, especially with the Jalen Ramsey trade looming. Like that just made a ton of sense because I mean they've agreed that they're seeking a trade, like they're working together to find a trade. And usually when that's the case and it's just not one side or the other, that trade's gonna get done. Like you know what I
Oh,
mean? Whether it's in training camp, it'll probably get done next couple of weeks before they actually get moving into training camp. But yeah, it was a super surprising pick. I thought. I guess they do need interior, just like you said. Kenneth Grant might have felt a little too sweet maybe there, because especially because he was mocked at the end of the first more than he was the top 15, top 13 pick. You know.
well, even if you just compare him to Nolan,
Mm,
who's the other interior player,
yeah.
Nolan is very raw, I guess technically, but was a very, a very capable player on the interior. Like to me on my board, I had Nolan above Kenneth Grant. But they must see something I don't, or, they're running a little bit of a strange operation down there in Miami.
Yeah.
Miami's got a lot going on, man. They're kind of falling apart. Like, what they got? Eight wins last year, something like that.
Yeah.
So
They had to be around there if they're picking 13. Yeah.
yeah, so like, and that's just I don't know. It's one of those other divisions they can take advantage of, but they don't. You know what I'm saying? Crazy. All right, boys. As we get done, the draft is done. Everything's cooking. We get to go in the off season. We get to cross our fingers and no one gets any non-contact injuries because that's gonna fucking pop out somewhere. Um, this is way too early, but we love to do that here. And don't worry, this is recording. I'm gonna make sure I hear what you say and then use it against you down the road. As we go, power rankings are always already coming out. They're already getting everyone lined up of who's supposed to be good, who's supposed to be whatever. I'm going to go around the board and we're going to see. I just want early predictions for the AFC, NFC championship games, and then Super Bowl contender. Who's going to be in the Super Bowl, who wins it. We already know who I'm starting with. Keegan, who we got? NFC championship game, AFC championship game, Super Bowl game, Super Bowl champion. Who is going to be it next year in January, February? Who's going to be there?
Well, I'll start NFC because I think it's going to be pretty easy. I think NFC, but then I'm just going to be biased, of course. I'm going to probably go Lions and Eagles, but God, that is going to be such a fucking tight division still next year. Because like you guys brought up, I think Tampa's going to be a little bit better and they're fucking hungry for it. I think the Rams are fucking right there if Matt Stafford stays healthy, man. I'm really curious with them bringing Adams over, how that's going to do for Nakuda over there and everything too. I really think
Nakuda.
that's about
I
to
love
fucking
that.
go crazy over in LA. But yeah, I probably see the Philly and freaking Lions going, and I fucking hate it because I'm fucking seeing what you've been telling me all these years about fucking being worried. Because I don't know if we fucking beat Philly. Like, I don't think we beat Philly. I think Philly, especially the way they fucking drafted, would probably beat us out and go to the fucking Super Bowl. But fuck that, dude. We're going to the Super Bowl. Lions over Philly. Fuck that shit. Gotta believe.
Let's go. Dan Campbell's
Even-
looking at the moon too.
Yep, I'm looking back, bro. I love you. Anyways, I had to talk to my mans.
Stop
Anyways,
crying on the mic, big guy.
Hey, I love his hat too, by the way. That's a dope ass Lions hat. Let's go.
Yep, got it for when I go to Hawaii. Got to represent my crew while I'm in there.
Nationwide.
Nationwide.
Worldwide prestige.
One pride, though.
The pride.
Hop
All right.
over to the AFC, man.
Yeah.
Oh, shit. I'll be honest. Let me start off with just saying this, because I'm going to have to think a little bit on the AFC. I actually think Kansas City isn't going to be in that AFC championship.
Ooh.
Call me
there you go.
crazy. I really don't know if I'm going to see that next year. So I don't know if I want to pick them off the bat. You know what? I'm going to give fucking the Bills love again, dude. Bills are going to fucking be there. Bills will be there. Shit. You know what? Bills in Baltimore, dude. Give me Bills in Baltimore again, but this time the fucking Bills go to the Super Bowl. Bills and Lions in the Super Bowl. I like that. We fucking can beat them out. Let's fucking go, dude. Detroit for the win. I fucking love it. Where's the Super Bowl this year? Where's it going to be?
Where's it gonna be? Let me look. Dude, I loved watching you slowly, but it's like watching a train when it starts.
Oh, this could happen.
Oh shit! And then he goes
too excited fucking in the off season though.
He ends it. He ends it. Hands in the air. Lions win the Super Bowl.
It's in Levi Stadium, baby.
Oh, they're redoing it too. It's renovated because it's ass. It's ass. It looks awful, bro. It's so bad. I'd rather go back to Candlestick. That shit was where magic happened, man. Come on now. Love that, Keegan, bro. Hey, Shay, you know how I am, man. Pat Mahomes gonna be Pat Mahomes, but can somebody throw him off? Can fucking somebody get out of that shadow a little bit? You know what I'm saying? Here we go. I'll jump around the board. Let me go to the other OG, Sir Michael Clark. AFC, NFC, Super Bowl. You know the rules.
I'm gonna go AFC. I'm gonna go Ravens are gonna be winning that. That's my pick. NFC. I'm gonna do a hot take here. I'm gonna say the Giants. That the defensive line's that good, and Jackson Dart just goes crazy.
He wins the NFC. He wins the NFC. Who's he play against?
The 49ers. the NFC Championship.
God damn, dude. I've already lost against. We lose against the Giants all the fucking time in the playoffs.
I think the Ravens are taking that one.
Yeah. Ever seen Lamar Jackson have the greatest Super Bowl ever, and he'll finally be considered the guy. And then a month after the Super Bowl, Derrick Henry breaks both legs in a skiing accident.
God damn, say Sims, dude.
Are you talking AI? Are you asking AI predictions for you right now?
Oh God! All right, we got Derrick Henry skiing accident.
Yeah, it's gonna derail the Ravens.
That's so awesome.
Can you
Jackson,
imagine that big motherfucker skiing and coming down the slope and just hitting somebody?
Bro, hell no, bro. I can't imagine him fucking skiing. Imagine like a lineman skiing. I can't even ski, bro. Fuck, man. You got me insecure now.
I can't even ski.
I can't even ski, bro. Come on now. Hey, shout out Jackson Dart, Super Bowl MVP, dude. I like the way that rings, dude. And then fucking Eli's right with them, fucking staying on top of everything. That'll be fucking hard. Let's go. All right, we got some wild shit. All right, TJ or Eric, whoever wants to follow up the Sims simulation that just went down. Who wants to follow it up?
I'll take it. So, I got a hot take, but compared to those, it's going to be a mild take, man. You guys blew me out of the water. I think for the NFC, I really think Tampa Bay could make a run this year. So I'm going to make an off the wall prediction that We might see Tampa Bay win the NFC this year. In the AFC, I think it's going to come down to the Bills and the Ravens, and I think it might be the year that the Bills figure it out and go to the bowl. I think it's just been building for so many seasons that potentially, like I could see the Chiefs, running out of a little bit of steam this year with some aging players, some role players that haven't quite contributed like they thought. I think the Bills could do it this year.
The Bills. Let's
Go
go.
for the Bills, dude.
Bills
Mafia.
Buccaneers
Bills
Super
Mafia.
Bowl.
Bills
You heard it here
Buccaneers.
first.
Double B's.
Yeah, that's just
Put some B's on that thing.
Man, that's a weird, that's a cool looking ugly field, man. That's a wild field out there. You fucking putting up. Hey, fuck it, go Bills, go Allen. I don't actually disagree with that because on this pod we've been talking about that for a while. There's certain teams like that are cooking, right? Like they're just like they've been marinating for a while. Like they're just ready to go.
Have any of y'all ever been to Buffalo?
No.
I went
So-
across Buffalo to go to Niagara one time.
I got a sweet, soft place in my heart for Buffalo, man. The friendliest fucking people I ever met. And I will always fuck with the Bills because when the Browns moved, the only other owners to vote against the Browns move were the Bills owner and the Steelers owner. So I fuck with the Bills. And in Buffalo, they have a part of their city that's called Allentown. And it was always called Allentown. But now every business in Allentown is Josh Allentown, and they have giant pictures of Josh Allen in the windows, and fat heads of him throwing a football, and like pizza restaurants are now instead of Allentown Pizzeria, it's Josh Allentown Pizzeria, and I really fuck with that. They are so behind their
yeah.
players that I respect it so much.
Let's go, dude. I needed some of that information. That's that diamond in the rough shit right there.
I
dude. You
love
don't-
Buffalo, man.
Hey,
I love
hey.
Buffalo.
Buffalo fans are lit too, man. They're fucking tailgating. They always have the best fucking food. They're fucking jumping on tables, getting crazy, out in the fucking cold too, all bundled up. I fucking love that energy.
They're putting their newborn through a styrofoam table, cooking
Yes.
hot dogs in car exhaust and shit. I fuck with Buffalo, man.
Hell yeah, Buffalo. Let's go. I love that, bro. Shout out Buffalo. The only other place grimier than Cleveland. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's why. It's only, but it has heart. Like, they get so grimy, all you have left is heart and kindness. That's what's wrong with Cleveland. Cleveland thinks they got hope. If they let go of the hope, maybe they'd be nicer, bro. You know what I'm saying? Put the expectations down a little bit. Won't be such assholes out there. They think they got something to look forward to. That's why they pissed off when
They're
inconveniences
hopeful
happen.
assholes.
Yeah, yeah. They're like, man, I thought something good was gonna happen. like even about just going to work with traffic's pissing them off. You know what I'm saying? Like, man, come on now. You live on the lake. It's nice 6 months a year. Brighten up. Man.
Rust Belt represent, man. Shout
Hey.
out Buffalo.
Let's go, dude. Shout out. Hey, that's why I love I wish the Browns were doing a little better because I've been wanting the Great Lakes Super Bowl. Either the Bills Lions, Cleveland Lions. I thought we were gonna have it a few years ago. Like, come on, let's get the Great Lakes Super Bowl going. Eric, I want your opinion, big dog. AFC, NFC.
All right.
Super
I
Bowl.
was gonna ride the Bills hard, but three of us just did, so I'm gonna stay away from that just in terms of
Yeah.
I wanted to look better than you guys next year. So I'm gonna go Ravens, Chiefs in the AFC Championship. Ravens pull it off. And then I'm going Rams and Philly in the NFC. Rams make the Super Bowl and win the Super Bowl. Stafford gets one more before he retires. And then my hot take is Caleb Williams MVP next season with Ben Johnson.
Ooh, I like that actually. I like that.
that.
Keegan don't want nothing to do with that. Hey, he already
I
picked the Rams win the Super Bowl. I don't like that either. You know what I'm saying? Like, man, Eric, that's a universe I don't want to live in.
No excuses for Caleb Williams next year, man.
Oh,
No, it's not one.
Not one after it's year two.
Ben Johnson put him on a pedestal, man. Look at the wide receiver room. Look at the offensive mind
but
that's in charge.
first year head
I
coach.
wish they would have drafted a running back, like prioritized it in this year's draft because I don't think they took one to that Mullins guy to the 7th round.
Mhm.
Nick
Yeah,
Chubb's going there.
Manen guy.
Yeah.
and
Nick
Kalen.
Chubb, dude. I'm telling you.
I can't see Ben Johnson failing Caleb Williams, even being a first year head coach. like his resume with the Lions, Keegan could probably speak to it better than me, but like I believe in a lot in his ability to be a head coach.
You know what's gonna be interesting with that? God, I hate everything about to fucking say right now. But anyways, I could actually see that working out very well offensively, and here's a little bit why. I know a lot of people first off the rip maybe want to say like, "Oh, keep it simple for the kid, like, just get him like open throws and all that stuff," which you should do and everything. But I'll be honest, I think you get a little risky with the fucking Bears a little bit, which is right up Ben Johnson's alley. And you got some fucking athletes to do it, man. Especially with the young guy like that. I feel like young guys, because they got a little more wiggle to them. They haven't been beat up yet. They can freaking move those play action shits and stuff
Yeah.
like that. Don't be surprised Bears do a lot of fucking trick
And
shit.
if you thought Ben Johnson had fun with Jared Goff, he's gonna have a
Yeah.
lot of fun with Caleb Williams.
Totally.
Like just speaking of the ball of clay, the ball of clay is better with Goff, better with Williams than it is with Goff. Goff has a lot more weapons in Detroit than Caleb Williams, especially with the running backs. But yeah, I think it's gonna be so much fun. I'm so excited to see Ben Johnson with that offense.
Hey,
Eat
shout
a
out Ben
dick.
Johnson. Hey, yeah, exactly.
Not you, Aaron.
No,
Ben
they're gonna.
Johnson.
Yeah, hey, not you, Eric. Ben Johnson. We'll put that on my fucking. I'm gonna put that on a t-shirt.
Yeah, Keegan, Coach Keegan, how do you view the Ben Johnson to the Bears? Is that like a Mangini Belichick level betrayal? Or are you okay? Or was he ready to spread his wings and fly?
He was definitely ready to spread his wings and fly. I would have preferred the fucking Cowboys or something. I would have fucking preferred that instead of going right in our fucking division. So that seems a little backstabby to me. But we'll fucking make him pay. We'll fucking beat his ass
promotion.
twice a year
Yeah.
and make him cry, and it'll be what it'll be.
Hey, shout out. For me, I'll just do mine real quick. All right. So everyone's getting goofy out here. I'm gonna fucking say it. So CMC, all right, his Achilles on both fucking legs. People don't understand his injury. It's not just one. He has tendonitis on both of them bad boys, bro. It's not good. But he's pretty excited about 13 days ago or so from this article I was reading just now. 'Cause I've been trying to check up on him. I haven't checked up on him in a while. So I was
DM
checking.
him. Like, hey, bro, be honest with me.
He's excited. He's excited, apparently. But I truly, I would love to say the Niners in there, but it's not. I think we make it. I hope we make it to a wild card. I really do. I think that'll be good for us. Get back in the winning column. But for my NFC, I'm gonna do Lions, Eagles. I think the Lions actually win because I think the Eagles have something weird about their locker room and their situation that makes them so dope but so toxic. Like I don't think they can. I don't think they just don't have that longevity to them. They kind of remind me of the old Bad Boys Pistons, where like they could win back to backs possibly, right?
Mm-hmm.
But like I just don't see them being well put enough together as a core, personality wise, to win a bunch. So I will say Lions. Now I love it, Keegan, and I love the Lions, but I don't say the Lions are going to win the Super Bowl because I think you guys are saying the Bills, Ravens. I still think I just will always believe it. I don't care. I've seen it with Tom Brady. Until I don't see it, I'm going to go Chiefs are going to be in the AFC championship. I just think they just know how to win those type of playoff games regardless. Travis Kelce's going to try his hardest to be sent out the right way, and I think the whole team will work around that. And then I think the Ravens, and I think the Ravens are overdue to beat the Chiefs, so I think the Ravens beat the Chiefs in the AFC championship game. I think the Bills I think they had a kind of a spark of lightning last year. Like they got a lot of return, like new pieces, and it was cool how it worked out. I just don't. As long as that what's his fucking name, the head coach,
Sean McDermott.
as long as he's there, bro, I just don't see them win those type of games. I just don't. Like you can see him rattling his boots sometimes on those sidelines. If you're going against guys like Andy Reid or even Harbaugh, like you ain't gonna be able to do that.
Still don't got the receivers, I don't think either, man.
Exactly. Like
the
even
Chiefs
though
at least got Rasheed Rice coming back next year. You know what I mean? Like
Yep.
they still got the better weapons.
So I just think it's long overdue. I think the Ravens get one Super Bowl in this era. And I think this year is one of those years that they can get it. And I think Ravens win the Super Bowl. They just in this era that they've had, they get one Super Bowl, I think. I don't think they get more than that, and I think they do. Harbaugh's a dog. And I just think the way that division's kind of odd. Bengals could be really good or they could suck. Steelers could be really good or they could suck. Browns could even be pretty good or they could suck. But everyone knows the Ravens will be good. And that's just the way it goes. But that's my fucking take on that. You guys got any other early predictions that you'd like to just throw out into the sun? I love Eric's MVP prediction. I honestly think that, and this is gonna sound so dumb because it's like most people won't think this. People will, but I think because of the Chiefs, the way they're looked at, sometimes when really good teams kind of get knocked down a peg, everyone thinks it's going to be amazing. I think because of the media, I think Pat Mahomes pushes for an MVP for once. I think instead of pushing for the wins, like the last couple of years, he's been getting wins instead of MVP votes. I think this year they don't get as many wins like they were before, but because of his play style, because they're going to be like, oh, Pat Mahomes is the only reason why this team is most valuable. I think Pat Mahomes makes a push for it, and I think he gets one under his belt. But you guys got any other MVP? I love the one with Williams. But anybody else got a hot take with MVPs before we get off here soon?
What do you guys think about Offensive Rookie of the Year?
Ooh, ooh.
Oh,
Ooh,
it's
I
got to
don't-
be.
ooh.
Ooh, I could see.
I can't imagine what Genty's odds are for it, man. I'll look it
Yeah.
up real quick just so we know. But
He's got to be the favorite, right?
it can't. I bet it's not. It can't even be close.
But
right?
does Emeka though get a push
That's
if the
what I'm
Bucks end
saying.
up balling?
I
If
don't
they
know because he
do,
might
I
be
wouldn't be
receiver 3.
surprised.
Yeah, but I'm saying with Godwin, the whole situation, Mike Evans is older. Sometimes it's that media aspect, right? Where they're gonna be like, "Oh my God, look what he's done with so less." You know what I mean?
All right,
Like they're
you
gonna
guys want
twist
you
it.
guys want the top 5 real quick?
Yeah.
All right, Genty's plus 270, Cam
Mhm.
Ward's plus 380, Travis Hunter's plus 750,
Ooh.
Tat McMillan's plus 1,000, Omari Hampton's plus 1,400, and Quinshaw Judkins is actually plus 1,600.
Yeah, I could see that happening if he gets the lion's shares of the carries. Even though we didn't really touch on the other running back the Browns drafted, but I think Sampson could be very good, and he's SEC Player of the Year. I don't care who you are, you're a good football player, you win that
Mhm.
award. And I think that's gonna be a great two-back combo. I think that's the only thing that would hold Judkins back because I think his ability to win it, I think would probably be splitting carries with Sampson and Jerome Ford. I
Especially
don't
third
see.
down
Yeah, I
scenarios.
don't
Samson's
see
a better
him.
pass catcher. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's why they're
Yeah.
gonna be a fun duo though, man. I think it's just fun.
Well, you saw
Oh,
Tennessee
really fun.
without Sampson.
Yeah,
Didn't
yeah.
look
Oh,
like they
yeah.
know how to play football. He was like pivotal to their success. Like I was telling people before the Buckeyes played Tennessee, like, listen, don't sleep on Tennessee because Sampson is a baller. And like
Yeah.
they're gonna come out and run the ball. They run that spread that's like real wide, and he finds a lane and punches through it, man. And like Eric said, he's really good catching the ball out of the backfield.
Mm-hmm. So is Ford too. I mean, shout out Ford. I mean, I
You know,
know he.
I think Tet could be a sneaky
yeah.
offensive rookie of
We
the
didn't even
year
touch
pick.
base on him going to the Panthers today.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
didn't like Tet that much. I still am not like super sold on him as like a premier wide receiver. But going to Carolina, a team that's like offensively kind of on the uptick, Bryce Young starting to really come into his own and look like a real starting quarterback. I think Tet could see a large percentage of throws headed his direction next year, give him a lot of opportunity.
Oh yeah. They still got. Is that Deontay Johnson?
He just
Or
No,
signed with the Browns.
he's with the Browns.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I didn't know that. Holy shit.
They got that kid that Xavier Leggett they took in the
I
second round
love
last
that. The
year.
way he talks, bro. That kid's funny.
Who are they? I'll look it up. You guys keep on going. I'll look up the depth chart because I'm curious who their actual.
Panthers, though. I mean, can
My boy Leggett eating barbecued raccoons and shit, man. Shout out that dude, man.
what they
Did
say?
did y'all see him talking to Guy Fieri about
Yeah.
how to barbecue a raccoon, man?
Yeah.
Oh,
That's
Thielen's still there. I
disgusting.
forgot about
Oh,
Thielen,
yeah.
but Jonathan Brooks is coming off that ACL, who I was pretty high on last year.
Mhm.
Chuba Hubbard's still there.
Chuba was
yeah, I mean,
sneaky
he's
high last year
that's
in
definitely
rushing.
gonna get some. That's definitely gonna get the most of the
Mhm.
targets. I feel like
All righty,
that
boys.
defense is awful.
So
Oh,
real
so
quick,
bad.
Jack, I
Yeah.
got one last question for all of you guys, man.
Please.
2026 draft, round 1, pick 1. Who's on the clock?
Love that. Love that.
The Browns run the card into draft Lenora Sellers.
Oh, 260-pound quarterback. That dude's fucking huge. That guy's a.
Ah.
I say it's gonna be Titans or Jags. Which if it's Jags, well, I guess it won't be on the clock. They would technically have the original pick, but I think they're gonna be. That's why I like the trade more than anything. I don't think the Jags are gonna be very good, man. I don't see them really bouncing back. And Titans could have a rough year. I mean, they got just pretty much a rookie quarterback, and that's it.
It's so tough. I don't think Arch Manning's gonna be that guy.
I don't think he's
I don't
coming
think-
out next year.
Yeah,
me
I think
either.
he's gonna wait.
Me either.
I think
But-
it's Sellers and Klubnik are my two like favorite quarterbacks
Yeah.
right now going into
Sellers
next
is
season as a
awesome
Browns
to
fan.
watch.
Yeah, he's just a ball of clay still. Like he's still got to show a little bit more in college. But Klubnik, dude, Klubnik's fun.
Yeah.
He turned it on at Clemson, man. And I fucking hate Clemson, and maybe it'd be bad luck taking another Clemson quarterback. But I like Cade Klubnik a lot too.
I did like a deep film study on like guards for like a 3-day stretch. I was up all night watching guards play football. And I was scouting the one dude, Torricelli Simpkins from South Carolina, just
What
a
a
random
name.
like 7th round guard. I was like red-eyed watching this cat play. And the only thing I could focus on was Lenora Sellers. You know, like they put a drive together where he made every single throw he made was a dot, and he picked up 2, 3rd and 10s with his legs. And I texted Mike like, "Damn, man, Sellers is fun, man. He could be a sneaky pick for the Heisman next year if SC shows
6'4",
up."
Yeah, I think so
245.
too.
I could say,
Lenore Sellers.
I don't know if I can say who to be the first is. It depends on who it is, like what Clark was saying. But I mean, but you guys know. I know I've been hating on him, but like I think the number one player by far, when you really everyone's gonna say it's just Caleb Downs. Like it's just he's gonna be like Abdul Carter that was this year, but like that wherever he goes is gonna be the spot. He might be going 2, 3, 4, 5, but like it's because whatever positions are needed before he just didn't get picked, but he will be the best player. You guys have the best player.
He would have been that high this year.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then
Like-
even like where do you think Smith goes? That's a good question back. Like, do you think he goes pretty high? I think so, but like wide receivers is a tough business.
Well, he's 2 years.
Yeah, he's got 2 more.
Damn.
Man, but who throws to him? I mean, I know you guys think but like I mean, Day's always trying to make it look like a competition. So it's like
I'm not worried about the quarterback room's arm. I think the guy saying it probably has a better arm than Howard already, honestly.
yeah.
He
Yeah,
doesn't move. He's not as big. He doesn't move like Howard. It's kind of closer to, if you're going to compare the offense, it's going to be closer to CJ Stroud offense than it was a Will Howard offense, especially with Chip Kelly gone too now. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Pretty much everything about saying that they're saying is accurate. Like when they say like, "Oh, he's got the fastest release in college football." When you watch him throw the ball, it's as fast as I reckon it could get.
Yeah.
Like that he throws dots, and we've seen him come into some games. Like I even think he played against Tennessee in the playoff game, had
Yeah,
like
I
2
think
throws
you're
against
right.
Tennessee, and he like skied one and threw one into the dirt. But I don't worry about them at all. I think they're going to be just fine.
No shit. Well, hey, you know what I ain't worried about? Notre Dame fighting Irish, baby. I think CJ Carr is going to be way better than Riley Leonard. Love Riley Leonard. He was who he was supposed to be last year. Like, that's who he was supposed
That's
to
a
be.
perfect way to explain him. He was who he's supposed to be.
Yeah, like, that's just...
I mean, Gruden thinks he's Josh Allen,
Yeah. Everyone's Josh Allen if you're white and you can run. Like, it's just like...
he said the
even-
same thing to Will Howard.
Yeah, it's like, but like, I do think, I think the boys that think, what's his nuts over at Penn State's going to be near the top, I don't think so. I think he's going to get exposed.
Yeah.
I think you play when you have to go against teams like OSU and stuff enough, and like the way the playoffs formatted, we're gonna see who's really draft caliber or not. Because
I still don't know who his receivers are either, man. Like,
yeah, well they're gonna run the ball a bunch.
I mean,
Their
they got
running
both
backs are
those
back.
running backs left.
Yeah,
But like, I just don't know. It's still who he's gonna throw to.
yeah. That's what's
You
gonna be
know?
nice about the Irish. CJ Carr's gonna be nice. We got one of the best running backs room in the country, Clark.
Mhm.
We by far with Price and Love.
Yeah, he's the number one guy out as of right now in most
He should be.
2026 early stuff. He's top running back.
Oh yeah, and he's going to be, and he's been practicing a lot with wide receivers too. So I'm excited to see what he's going to be all over the place. I think he's gonna be one of those guys that kind of have like a running back season like you have on NCAA that win the Heisman because they had 1,000 yards receiving and 1,000 yards rushing. I think he's gonna be one of those guys. Speaking of all this, just had to say it because TJ, what he was saying kind of got me spurring about college football. We love college football in here. I know we're about to end this up. Do you guys think who do you think other than Ohio State, in your opinion, 2 early predictions, college football, who do you think is going to be like the guys that are going to win the championship this year? I think it's going to be what Cigaretti said, where it's like it's going to be the guys who spent 40 mil.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't. Teams are too. It's too hard to pick a teams for me right now, man.
I was just thinking anyone's to come to your mind other
when the drafts happen, I'm so brain dead for college football because I focus so much on the draft. But now once we get back into the groove, I'll start looking up like who's who where. I know that Like Klatt has Penn State and Texas as 1 and 2 right now.
I didn't like Klatt's list.
I didn't either. Penn State. I get it. I don't know, man. It's just that's a lot of stock to put in Drew Aller.
Hey, I'll put it in here now. Put your money in. I think we might run it back, boys.
I think Clemson's going to be damn close to the championship. I think they're going to be really good this year.
Notre Dame signed a contract with them. We play them for 12 years straight here soon. We're going to be a long-standing rivalry.
Yeah.
We're supposed to be a rivalry.
And I'm assuming Clemson's schedule's weak because of the ACC, so I could see them making
we help each other
a
out.
pretty big run.
Florida State wants our help too.
SEC, I don't know. I really couldn't tell you.
I think it's going to be a Big Ten's year. I think Michigan's going to be better than they were last year. I think Oregon's going to be just fine. I think.
Yeah, Keegan, talk about Oregon. We got to talk about our two teams. You saw like Keegan doing a little Oregon real quick.
But
Keegan's the best coach.
I'm still too depressed from the fucking playoffs way back then. You shitting me? I was gonna say, are you kidding me? We blew our fucking wad this year a little bit, if I'm being completely honest.
You were the best team.
We'll be fine. I think we'll be good. Like, don't get me wrong. I think we'll be okay and we'll do well in the Big Ten. But I'll be honest, this was one of the windows, gentlemen. This was a great chance to have a good team and go win it. But fucking, we let Ohio State bend our ass over and spank that ass.
Belt to ass, baby.
It wasn't as bad. We were all inedible, so we enjoyed the ride.
Hey, shout out Irish. At least the Irish brought it into a single possession game. Come on now, hey, I think Oregon's gonna be just fine. I think the Big Ten's gonna have a lot of decisions to make.
Oregon doesn't play Michigan or Ohio State next year. They do play Penn State, but they don't play Ohio State or Michigan next year.
Love the schedule.
That's awesome. I want to also say how they'll take, because I can't stand this motherfucker, even though I do think he's awesome at the same time. I think Indiana only wins like 8 games.
Dude, that quarterback's getting hyped. That quarterback they got. I've seen him on quarterback one on some boards already.
Yeah,
like it's getting a little crazy, but I couldn't tell where he transferred from.
Let's see what it's like
or something like that.
Yeah, let's see what it's like when you have to play teams like Michigan more and Ohio State more. And like keep playing them. Like, let's see.
I think sneaky team potentially, like sneak in at the bottom half. I think you could see Arizona State again. I really liked I love how Levitt played last year. And I've seen him on some like way too early 2026 boards. I really liked how he looked.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he really led the team, and obviously Scadaboo was the big story last year. But ASU could potentially find themselves in the playoffs again.
I think they're like only the second favorite to win that conference, and I was kind of surprised about that. I think it was K-State maybe. Or Texas Tech's favorite to win it. Yeah,
it's Texas Tech. They don't get much love, even though they're dogs over there. Great offenses always. Anything else, boys, as we wrap up this beautiful From the Deep? We're going to the off season, so we might just start breaking it up in different sports shit here soon. You might see we're a little football out sometimes. You can hear at the end of this. That's why I was asking some random questions. We'll, maybe some some fighting, some basketball, some anything, and then we loop back into the football year. We'll have everyone back on board for the football season. Hopefully get these two on a bunch this year. We need, me and Clark need some help sometimes. Keegan's going to be out there really doing God's work, coaching the people, doing his thing. But before we wrap up here today, you guys got anything else to end this beautiful session here today?
Yeah, last hot take of the night. New Orleans Saints, worst team in the NFL next season.
Yep, I agree. I like that. Anybody else? Love that.
I'd love to go to their training camp and watch Rattler and Show go back to back. Because Derek Carr's out the full year. No, I don't got anything. Thank you guys. This is a lot of fun.
Always.
Thanks for having me, fellas.
Oh, dude, anytime. We'll have you back. We'll have everyone back. Clark Keegan, the OGs. Listen to the silent old. These guys are the elder statesmen over here. They just don't know what to say. They're waiting for the applesauce and pills. You know what I'm saying? These old bastards. Well, you got anything to say, Clarky? If you ain't got nothing nice to say, don't say nothing at all.
That's why I wasn't saying nothing. I was just gonna shit on the Browns. So I've done that enough today. I'll give up on it. I'll save my breath.
Mental health. Keegan.
Nah, since we talked about it, I thought the Lions actually had a pretty sneaky good draft. I'm really excited. Actually, I'm glad that Eric fucking brought it up because I'll be honest, thought the fucking pick was terrible at first when I saw the wide receiver. I'm like, oh, great. And he's fucking Joey Browner's friend. Who the fuck's this cat? No, but anyways, I fucking love the dude. He's actually a dog. Fucking 6'4", fucking runs, like 4.4 in his 40 or something.
That trade was crazy, though.
That
Trading
trade was
3
nuts.
third-round picks to do that was
For a
crazy.
wide receiver too. Oh, it had me sweating bullets for a second. I'm like, what are we doing? Where's JMO? Is he okay? Is he leaving? What's happening? Why are we getting this white guy? No, but I love it. I think he'll be a great wide receiver 3 for us. So my hot take is that I think that he will be. I'll think he'll actually kind of be a lot like Laporta, where you might see him sneak in like a fucking 1,000-yard season just because guys are going to be so covered on Amon Ra and fucking JMO. But
Yep.
dude, you watch the kid's film, he's got fucking hands, man.
He's a
He's
great
got
run
that
blocker too. He's a great run blocker. I've seen a lot of people talk about that with Tesla.
beautiful. What more could you ask for a running team? What more
Yeah.
could you ask for? Get your big fast ass over here and
Hey.
get going, dude. Let's get it.
Hey, let's get it. Everyone
Rich
get
get
your
rich.
big. Hey, the rich are getting richer, and the get the big fat asses out of here from the